Internet, hello and welcome to OKLCS Spring 2018 Platinum Capped Week 4. I'm Alex Agent A22, joined by Jack Loves Lamp Counts. You all know who it is. We have all 5 of the Platinum Cap games for you today.
Way to go, everybody.
All according to the schedule, so if you want to know the schedule, it is in our Twitch feed, and it is on the website. We're just going to go straight down the list. Which means that we are going to get into the first game of the day, which is between Sky Fate and Oklahoma Platinum Rush. And we'll go ahead and get into it. Both of these teams do, of course, have their counterparts in Diamond Capped. Sky Fate to Sky Zero and Oklahoma Platinum Rush to Oklahoma Diamond Rush.
Yeah, it's always neat to see how these teams sort of like naturally just sort of became franchises. People in friend groups just sort of like, I want to be on a team too. They kind of tie into each other and they help give each other tips and feedback on teams, and it's nice.
So Sky Fate coming into this match 1-2, Oklahoma Platinum Rush 2-1. Both of their sister teams actually taking a loss this week. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, wait, OGR actually took a win off of somebody. Yeah,
took a win off of Reign of Kings. So that's that. We'll go ahead and take a look at the champion select. On the side of Sky Fate, on the blue side, they banned away Twisted Fate, Sejuani, and Varus in the first rotation. On the other side, Yasuo, Zac, and Riven taken away by Sky Fate by Oklahoma Platinum Rush. And then in the second round of bans, Azir and Vigar banned away, and then Malzahar and Ryze taking away a lot of those high priority mid laners. And so you see 4 of the big 5 mid laners banned away, and then the 5th one, Zoe, is in fact featured on the side of Sky Fate.
Yeah, what a bunch of meta slaves. No, I'm just playing. But those mid laners are definitely a tier above every other mid laner right now. And a lot of the LCS games, you do see stuff like Orianna popping up, but those champions are popping up after literally 4 to 5 mid lane bans regularly. There's just not quite a drop-off between, quote-unquote tier 1 and tier 2 in any of the other lanes aside from mid lane right now. Those mid laners are definitely the strong ones.
For sure.
Galio's actually kind of a strong mid laner right now, but right now he's being played top lane by Hayabusa.
Interestingly enough, you don't. Most of the time you do see that mid lane Galio just so that you can impact multiple lanes more effectively with the ultimate once you hit the level 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in.
I mean, aside from just being more gankable and it being a longer lane, there's a lot of champs that have like good roaming, like Twisted Fate, and what makes their ultimate so good for the role that they're in is
from Silver Hammer,
nice.
but no follow from
Windosaurus,
and they'll turn it back around with some damage onto Alistar with the passive blows from Dr. Siggy.
But yeah, no, it just works so well for those mid laners because they're so close to maybe any jungle skirmish that might break out, a fight that breaks out around Dragon or Rift Herald / Baron. They're just always right there near it, and those semi-global abilities have a lot of reach from that center point. If you're sitting up in top lane, half of your ultimate's area of effect is not accessible.
He just shoves a gigantic wave into Hayabusa's top lane. That's sort of culminating in that CS lead that you saw. It was 12-3. It's neutralized a little bit by Hayabusa picking up some of that wave as it hits the tower. So you're gonna pop Dr. Siggy Guardian. I'll actually share the explosive charge damage with the support. I sure you really wanted that. XYZV is going to take a combo from Trodelor. Level 3 acquired by the bottom lane of Sky Fate. They jump forward, but as OGR's bottom lane hits their level 3.
This mid lane matchup is going to be an interesting one. Depending on how Trodelor on this LeBlanc uses his dashes, will depend on whether he eats the Sleepy Trouble Bubble empowered Paddle Stars regularly or not. If he blinks back during Drowsy to safety behind minions, he'll never take that enhanced damage. But
there's a relatively big, as far as substitution on the side of Sky Fate. Honowin normally, if I'm not mistaken, is on the in the mid lane, and then XYZV is subbing in the lane, and they've lost their primary jungler.
Oh, I didn't notice that. You're right, though. I remember Hoyuin being the mid laner. So Lucian got his buff. You know, nobody really knows where he stands. A lot of people think he sits on the weaker side, but he does have a pretty strong interaction with Braum in that if Braum lands a Q on someone and Lucian's in range, he can very quickly auto dash, double auto, and fully proc those stuns for quite a bit of burst damage,
Yeah,
and
not
a lot of
that
counterplay.
Lucian already has a very strong burst damage in lane, especially when you take that press the attack. Hyperoom and Hayabusa going at it a little bit now.
But yeah, so while Lucian may not be the strongest, he is probably at his strongest alongside Braum. Oh, probably. Gonna clear away a little bit of vision here over by the dragon.
I would say that it's also pretty. Oh, hold on a second. The ethereal chains are gonna root up XYZVS, but Hoenn is here trying to go back onto Trodelor's jump back as Silverhammer goes in the bottom lane, throws up the Unbreakable. Nicely done by Dr. Siggy, prevents that stack onto the explosive charge from Windosaurus' auto attacks.
Man, the bot lane for Sky Fate loses pretty hard on that bot lane fight, and nice moves by Trodelor in the mid lane to not die to that gank. After he dashed in, he did get bubbled, but he didn't return to dodge the paddle star because, like you said, there was a Warwick sitting right on top of where that Detoy was going back. But Emma Hotson came up from the bot side of mid lane and helped secure that escape, so Trodelor ends up living. Good job staying cool-headed there.
Now Oklahoma could Platinum Rush. They are making a move onto the Mountain Dragon, and doesn't look like Sky Fate is really going to try and contest it. It's a Mountain Drake, so it is relatively important, but at the very least, you've only got the one so far. You don't have to worry about it double stacking Infernals just yet.
Hyperoom running into minions here. Has to hop back, because if he gets locked up in those minions, they deal a pretty significant amount of damage. Really at most stages of the game, but especially in the early stages.
Yeah, Hyperoom just continuing to shove in onto Hayabusa. 10 CS lead, neutralize a little bit because Hayabusa's not even going to let it hit the tower, just will tank it up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to miss any here. Still staying in lane. Doesn't have any mana, I guess.
No mana, and
if he's planning on teleporting back anyway, I guess he might as well stay to pick up a little bit more CS, but he could have backed there and walked to lane, saving his teleport, which for a champion like Galio, saving teleport's a pretty good move because you can teleport, down somewhere close to bot lane. And
we'll go on to combo onto Goose. He throws up the Unbreakable, but here comes Emma Hotson and Trodelor. They will back away.
Yeah, but if he teleports down towards bot lane, then when Alistar goes in, he can channel that ult. Or if he sees that somebody is starting a fight, teleports in and then ults in. It lets him extend that ultimate range from up in the top lane when he can't actually get to bot lane, which is where a lot of top laners like to show up. We see those 5-man parties in the LCS all the time bot lane.
If you ask a lot of ADCs, I've talked to a lot of ADCs about what they think about Lucian. Some of them say, "Oh yeah, he feels kind of okay," but there's a couple, the two ADCs that I would consider, and like the two ADCs that I consider the best ADCs in Diamond Capped. I'm not gonna say names, but they both say Lucian's bad, don't play him. But when I think about it, I just like in theory, his damage shouldn't be bad if you build crit on him, which is the way you're incentivized to build crit on him now. It's just the matter of how safe he is, and obviously Lucian is not a very safe ADC since he has very low range.
Hayabusa gonna get out of there. With those champions like Camille and Galio, and Sion with his ultimate to an extent, sometimes you need to recognize that their only mobility can be blocked, like Camille's less so because the first part of her E can't really be interrupted. But the second part it can, and with those two champions I just mentioned it can. So if Gnar on that gank there had been standing a little bit closer to Galio rather than trying to keep himself at Gnar auto range, then when he went back for that Justice Punch, he would stop himself and also set himself back a little bit, putting himself even closer to the Warwick.
So
people are talking about which supports are good in chat. I think that some of the enchanters are maybe underrated right now. It's hard to say, and I think Tarek's pretty good.
I think Tarek is really good. I think in general, Braum and Alistair are just like safe to pick in basically any situation. Tarek is good. Tom Kench is always very valuable when you want to, especially when there's stuff like single target focus, like Malzahar or Camille, etc.
Yeah. Tom is kind of like Poppy was before the nerfs, in that he has like something of that's sort of a niche. Oh wait, going in on a fight here.
Hammer, but Windosaurus is wanting to get some wards instead. Silverhammer gonna pop the Unbreakable Will.
Here comes
There's
Warwick.
Fissure. Here's Hoenn as well. Emma Hudson Flag and Drax to safety, and Silverhammer might have to flash over the side there. Hoenn's gonna go with the Infinite Arrest. Buster Shot not available, or it is available for Windosaurus, but he's not gonna use it. Silverhammer will go down for first blood to Sky Fate. Double teleports coming in there. XY Xevious has to get out. There's the concussive blows into Hayabusa Taicho, but the Flag and Drag doesn't come through. Here's Chortler coming around the side. They rocket jump in Windosaurus. He gets the health back from the Q. Here's the Hero's entrance. Hayabusa knocks it. But that's a good two-man no run for Hyper Room. He's going to pop the stopwatch, get some health back from Triumph, but the double taunt will come through, and Chortler gets a kill with the Ethereal Chains, but he lost his top laner for it. A big swing in favor of Sky Fate. Oh! XY Xevious picks up one more onto Chortler over the backside with a Paddle Star.
Nice shot. And that's going to be a, it's not exactly an ace because Alistar died first and respawned, but it's essentially an ace after first blood goes over. And that's
the delayed ace for Sky Fate and Tower first blood going down in their favor.
And that is exactly those 5-man bot lane parties that we were just talking about. Both teleports come into the bot lane. Both junglers are here. Both mid laners roam down. And it looks like it's going to come out in favor of Sky Fate. They get first turret as well, so a lot of gold spike there for them. They are now 3k gold ahead, where it was pretty even just moments ago.
Yeah. 5 for 1 at the end of the day. Only Hyper Room goes down, but not before it gets a really big 2-man Gnar onto the members of Oklahoma Platinum Rush. And I'd probably say a little bit greedy by Silverhammer and Windosaurus in particular. Windosaurus held on to Buster Shot instead of knocking the Warwick off of his jungler, which could have, disengaged the fight that they were losing.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Silverhammer going in deep, popping his ultimate, but he used his ultimate for damage reduction, but there wasn't a whole lot of focus, and then he got CC'd, whereas he could have used it for the cleanse.
I will say for OGR, they did a good job in that fight of, ooh, Drowsy.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, and XY Xevious just comes in for the more sparkles, pops the W exhaust onto him.
They did a pretty good job there with the Jarvan-Galio combo. Galio ulted onto Tristana after several members were pretty close, and Jarvan's ultimate kept them inside that Galio knockup. Unfortunately, Gnar had a really great Gnar ult. It's just called Gnar. Had a really good Gnar in that fight, which secured them the win there. But still, good synergy on the part of Hayabusa and Emma Hudson with those ultimates.
XYZ gonna land another Sleepy Trouble over the terrain onto Chortler. Looking for the Paddle Star, but
doesn't quite get it.
I think he popped it a little early. Takes a tower shot now, getting chased away by Chortler, but Sky Fate, the rest of them are on their way in just to cover the escape. Another Sleepy Trouble Bubble will land on Emma Hudson. Flag and drags over towards his tower. Spits his tongue out. Then the culling will take a little bit of a chunk out of them. Ethereal Chain's actually dodged by Goosey, but eaten by Dr. Siggy Wiggy.
But anyway, back to what I was talking about before that big fight broke out top lane and everyone started skirmishing around the map. Tom is kind of like Poppy was back before Poppy finally got nerfed, to where Poppy's really only viable when the enemy team picks a lot of dashes, because that's kind of her niche. She stops at dashes. And outside of that, she's not just outright strong enough to really warrant picking her if you're not doing it to stop dashes as a part of picking her.
It's just sort of more like, why wouldn't you pick another tank
Exactly, yeah. Unless the other team has like 4 important dashes that are relatively easy to block, you could be like, of course, let's pick Poppy. But outside of those situations, you don't really pick Poppy anymore. And Tom, you might normally think like, oh my god, they have a Zed, like let's pick Tom. But he's just sort of generally good to where you can pick him most situations. I imagine that someday when they decide to nerf a bunch of tanks and try and close out the all-tank meta, that Tom will probably get some nerfs across the board.
Aggressively onto XYZ Vius, but he didn't land the ethereal chains. He will use the mimicked ones. It will root up XYZ Vius, but out of cooldowns. But here comes Emma Hudson. XYZ Vius goes forward, but pops right back into the Cataclysm. Will go down to a gank from Emma Hudson. Now the hop forward from Hyper Room. There's the taunt from Hayabusa, but he's taking a lot of hyper procs. About to go mega is Hyper Room with the Gnar available, but Hayabusa throws out the Winds of War, just trying to keep the wave away from his tower.
Right, and that's going to force him to back. Low on mana, doesn't have a lot of health, can't really fight this Gnar for much longer. Gnar's going back to mini as well, which is really where Gnar wants to be against these tanks. He likes to stay at the edge of the range and proc hyper over and over again, using that Black Cleaver to slowly ramp up his damage as the encounter goes on. I did see that they have some like small buffs and small nerfs for Gnar at the same time on the PBE because they are nerfing Frozen Mallet, I believe, next patch for ranged champion, which is, yeah, it's pretty much a Gnar nerf.
Yeah. Really, the primary champion you would build that on that's ranged?
I've seen Urgot build it.
Oh yeah, Urgot. That's also an champion.
Although I hate Urgot ever since I found out that you can QSS the part where he drags you in to kill you. If you QSS it, he will not kill you. Also, Yasuo Wall and Braum Shield can block the chain from reaching the target. Just a lot of things. I think it actually intercepts it in Braum's case, and he dies.
The ethereal chains. Trotler are going to land a second pair, but he flashes to follow, and then Goosey's just going to get auto to death.
There we go.
There it is. Trotler picks up a kill onto Goosey off of a good roam. But that will signal Oklahoma Platinum Rush to look at this Mountain Drake. Okay, well, don't hit the ward. Why hit the ward when it's disabled? There's no point in... Oh, Trotler going to look for XYZB's good flash away to dodge the ethereal chains. Hyper Room looking for Hayabusa Taicho. The Slight Trouble Bubble just going to land onto the Mountain Dragon. Gives some amplified damage to Oklahoma Platinum Rush. Oh, that's a good Sleepy Trouble, or a Paddle Star, and Dr. Siggy actually kills Silver Hammer.
That was not even enhanced by the Trouble Bubble. That was just one Paddle Star poking him down earlier in that Dragon Pit, a second Paddle Star to chunk him even lower, and then the Braum Q to finish him off.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Man. So Zoe, I know that you had talked about you didn't think that Zoe's damage was the problem and that it was more the reduced cooldown on Trouble Bubble. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I think like the ability, since if you really think about it, Zoe's only actual damaging ability is the Paddle Star. Sleepy Trouble Bubble doesn't do a whole lot of damage on its own. It amplifies damage. The W is just, it has some ambient damage.
Yeah.
And of course she has her passive, but it's really only the Paddle Star that does damage in her kit. So, you know, it makes sense for mid laner to be able to kill someone with the damage in their abilities.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But it's a little bit too strong that she can throw out the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles from Fog of War from very long range on a very low cooldown. Especially if you hit multiple people, someone has to block it, or you have to use a mobility spell to dodge the Paddle Star before you get sleeped. It's just really a really annoying and unfun play pattern.
Yeah, it just feels kind of oppressive sometimes with how often she can throw out those bubbles if she's hitting people.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing I feel about Vygar, because Vygar,
how often he throws out the stun, or
reduced cooldown on his Dark Matter whenever you get the stacks of evil, phenomenal evil, and you get a very low cooldown on the Event Horizon, which itself is also a ridiculously powerful zoning tool in addition to the stun that it can provide.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page with you.
Their play patterns are a little bit cancerous.
Well, they at least are coming over to Zoe in the next patch. making it to where she can't get teleport, making it to where hitting her E does not reduce the... Ooh,
That's some good
Hayabusa might
damage.
get
Hyperoom is
dove
gonna
here.
jump forward. He gets the flash Gnar into the wall, but after the damage reduction, Hayabusa gonna get the Justice Punch, and Hyperoom will get the solo kill, but he's under tower in the Cataclysm. Emma Hudson will pick up the kill, but here comes the rest of Sky Fate trying to clean up Emma Hudson. He's got no cooldowns. Flash, Flag, and Drag will get him out. Silver Hammer coming around to just cover his escape.
Yeah, it looked like that Gnar was at a little bit too much of an angle. Had he thrown him straight into the wall, I don't think he got the stun and additional damage. Yeah, had he thrown him straight into the wall, I think that Gnar would have killed him right there. Meaning that he would have been able to get a little bit farther away from that tower before Emma Hudson showed up to Cataclysm.
I also think that if he were willing to flash for that kill, he should have walked through the tower and then flash Nard him after the Shield of Durand was down, because that's a very large flat damage reduction ability in the kit of Gnar. Oklahoma Platinum Rush converging on this bottom lane tower, which they did not acquire yet.
If you've ever played Galio in Earth, you know how oppressive it can be that his W gets down to like a 2-point-something second cooldown, and even if he detonates it early, the damage reduction on his W always lasts for 2 seconds. So if you could just literally press W on repeat in Earth and basically perpetually have that huge damage reduction that he gets from it, which was just unfun. He was a super tank.
Now, I don't recommend this. But if you didn't know, if you get Boots of Swiftness on champions like Xerath, Vi, and Galio, it'll actually reduce their self-slows with their charged up ability.
Tom, when he eats enemies.
Yeah.
If he can get slow reduction, or if he had slow removal from something like Phase Rush, that's that video that people have seen called Kidnapper Tom, where he takes Phase Rush and he can have a movement speed boost as well as slow reduction on that Phase Rush, and he can just run away with people.
There's a combo from Silver Hammer, but not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. No follow-up from the rest of Oklahoma Platinum Rush. Hyperoom is playing a very powerful zoning tool right now, with how strong he is on this Gnar, with the Black Cleaver just stacking up hyper procs. Forces Oklahoma Platinum Rush to play very far back.
Yeah, it looks like they decide they don't want to siege this. I don't blame them. Jarvan, Galio, Alistar, that is a ton of engage, and if they try to do a tower dive themselves, LeBlanc and Tristana, relatively safe, pretty long range, a lot of dashes at their disposal to keep them away from the engage, so not really in favor in terms of siege outside of the Zoe. She's got some pretty good siege. The rest of her team, though, not so much.
Got the Hextech Gunblade as well as a Sheen going in towards that Lichbane for Chordelor's LeBlanc. He is down about 12 CS compared to XY Xevious, who's got the Morellonomicon Mercury Shreds in his back pocket as well to make sure that he can avoid some of that CC from Galio and from the Ethereal Chains. Dash forward, clearing out the minion wave with the Sigils of Malice. Calm down, both 80 carries sitting at about that 2-item threshold, but the Infinity Edge will mean that Windosaurus, when he does crit, will do a little bit more damage than Goosey. But Goosey, he's got a lot of burst damage just by virtue of being Lucian. Looking for one more auto on Silver Hammer, but they will not get the concussive blow stack. Hayabusa is in the area, so the hero's entrance is available if they overcommit onto any one player on the side of Oklahoma Platinum Rush.
All right, moving in around this Mountain Drake, and it looks like they're going to start it. Galio starts backing. He cancels that back. He starts moving towards the fight. Both teams have 5 members here.
This is the third Mountain Drake on the table. Silver Hammer looking for the engage. It will go down in favor of Sky Fate, and there's the CP Trouble Bubble cleansed by the Unbreakable Will. Silver Hammer goes in, gets a 2-man knockup. Here's the hero's entrance coming in onto him. Oh, he misses the Infinite Duress. He was trying to interrupt the Galio ultimate, I believe, but Emma Hudson goes on a killing spree. Goosey now getting zoned away by Hayabusa. Hyperroom jumps in, the flash away from Windosaurus. There's a combo onto Goosey. He's trying to dash away. Emma Hudson gets in with the Flag and Drag. Nars Silver Hammer, Hayabusa into the wall as he goes for the Justice Punch. Goosey does die to the Ignite from Silver Hammer. Now Hyperroom dueling onto Windosaurus, but it's not going to be a 1v1 for Walong, and there's the Flag and Drag in. Hyperroom going to be going down. Windosaurus picks up the kill. A 3-for-1 in favor of Oklahoma Platinum Rush.
They may have gotten the Dragon, but they lose a lot of members of their team. Windosaurus is very low. But this tower is right in front of her and low as well, so Tristana's going to take it down pretty quickly here.
There it goes. 2 towers now to 2. Oklahoma Platinum Rush takes the gold lead with 300 in their favor. I think it was mostly that Sky Fate thankfully do get the Mountain Drake, so it will not be triple mountain. It will not be the 23-minute Baron that they just rush it down because they can.
Yeah, and none of the champions on the side of OGR, I mean outside of the AD carry, which pretty much every AD carry is going to take the Baron, but none of those...
Not Misfortune.
Okay, you're right. Not Misfortune,
but those
not
are
Jin.
Bad ADCs. Like, indisputably bad ADCs. Not even a debate about it like there is with...
Well, okay, aside from those ones, Jin and Misfortune, those, lethality, bursty AD carries, Anyway,
Ooh,
I digress on the AD carries.
They're getting the teleport out of Hayabusa for relatively nothing. A little bit trigger happy is the top lane sub for Oklahoma Platinum Rush.
Yeah, not a great team comp for it. Jarvan doesn't exactly have a ton of DPS. Galio's okay at Baron, not great though. Ever since they lowered the max health damage on his Q quite a bit. LeBlanc not good at taking Baron at all. And same with Alistar. So it's going to take them quite some time, even with those Mountain Drakes, to burn down a Baron.
Oh! Wow! Windosaurus takes a paddle star to the face. Wasn't even slept, but it takes out more than half of his HP. Another paddle star will end on a Hayabusa. That's even chunking their... Well, I guess their tankiest player.
Yeah, he has no MR, though.
He's got the Rod of Ages, the Seeker's Arm Guard, and the Ninja Tabi. So you're right, no MR, just some health.
It's always weird to see tanky targets get one-shot by things, but just when they don't have the resistances, their effective health against certain types of damage is drastically reduced.
So Sky Fate, they're trying to push down this mid lane tower because Oklahoma Platinum Rush have secured themselves all 3 outer towers. But there's a lot of wave clear available with Windosaurus just constantly exploding minions, and of course Hayabusa with the Winds of War.
Right, all 5 members of Sky Fate here in the mid lane.
As are all 5 members of Oklahoma Platinum
that's
Rush,
a bubble.
Sleepy Trouble bubble gonna land onto Emma Hudson. He's gonna flag and drag out to safety to dodge the paddle star. Sky Fate still looking for a Hyper Room. Did just fall into mini form, so he doesn't have the ability to gain any rage. There's the Cataclysm onto 1. It's a flash away from my XYZ as the Hero's Entrance comes through. The Glacial Fissure knocking away. Hoeing gets into the back line, but now he's taunted up. There's multiple members. They're culling coming through, but it's blocked by all of Oklahoma Platinum Rush's tanks. The Therotane's jazzed away from, and Hoeing will be the only one to fall.
One complaint I remember what I was going to say. One complaint I have with Zoe's is every time they hit that... Oof, teleport spot lane to clear that wave. Every time they hit the bubble, they immediately go for the Q. But sometimes I think it's okay to leave them sitting there, slept, so your team has an opportunity to get pretty close to them, so that way...
use the sleep duration to its fullest.
Exactly.
Silverhammer gonna get a good combo onto Goosey and XYZ. He has a good narc onto 2, but it doesn't stun anyone, and Goosey trying to do what damage he can. Concussive blows over the side. They will stun up 2, and they kill off Hayabusa as well as Silverhammer. Trottler flashes forward. Goosey gonna jump away, flag and drag in, but he was slept. The paddle star comes through, and here's a Hoeing. He just respawned. He's on his way back in. Looking for something, but he doesn't have the infinite duress. Windosaur is running away. Trottler misses the ethereal chains. They will back away.
Right with him.
Oh,
XYZ. Wow!
Oh, XYZ comes in with the flash paddle star and just bursts down the remainder of Windosaurus' HP.
After that paddle star goes down,
Lord, and they're gonna look for the paddle star. Is gonna take him very low.
He ignited him there
enough.
too. It looked like didn't. Oh no, that was just Grievous wounds. That was just Grievous wounds.
Wow. Okay, so XYZB is 4-1-5 now on Zoe. Is looking to try and keep his team in the game because they are still behind 400 gold and that 1 tower in the outer ring. All
right, just gonna start clearing out vision here. 28 minutes in, Baron definitely becoming a possibility. The 20-minute Baron's always a possibility if you have a team that's really good at taking it and you win a team fight. But even if you come out of a team fight with several members, if your team's not really tailored to be able to deal the DPS or the max health damage that you need to melt down a Baron, Sometimes you just can't. It deals so much damage at level
the
20.
Thing is, I think Oklahoma Platinum Rush could still do that with a flash away for the Steep Trouble Ball, but it's taken out by the Bilgewater Cutlass, the hero's entrance used by Hayabusa to keep Windosaurus alive. Ethereal Chains blocks up Dr. Sigawiki and wall up onto Troidalor. They are still available. They don't want to go for too much here, but successfully do land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble and trade it for the hero's entrance.
If I'm not mistaken, if one half of Galio's Q gets blocked, I believe the other half doesn't set off the tornado spin at the end.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I've played Galio top, so I can't remember the interaction with Yasuo. But
the way it works with Braum and Yasuo is that it is actually that you can block it if it's like flying out, but I think once it hits the tornado, it can't be blocked and it can't like dissipate.
Moving down towards this dragon. They've poked, well, they've poked. Zoe poked quite a bit during that last fight. And while most of the members are looking healthy again, Silverhammer was at half health. He has to back, and they immediately go take the dragon. Now they're going to start looking for Baron here. They've got Gnar, Warwick, and Lucian, all really good at taking Baron. Ooh,
He's
lands
gonna
the
land
bubble.
on the Hayabusa. He's gonna Justice Punch out to safety. Skyfate used the opportunity to push for some vision in the Baron area.
Wow, Hayabusa still has an OMR and lost almost half his health to that enhanced paddle star.
Did they even hit a star on him?
Yeah, she landed the sleep over here, and she came around the Raptors and poked him with the paddle star. It was kind of off the screen a little bit.
So there is still a control ward in the pit for Oklahoma Platinum Rush. Sleep onto Silverhammer.
Full health and
paddle star. It's about
half health.
Half of it. Does have a little bit of MR from the lock to the Iron Solari.
Gotta pick up red buff and back.
Goosey did just pick up the Infinity Edge on that recall, so he is at that 3-item power spike that a lot of Essence Reaver ADCs want. Double chains onto Hoenn will just leash up the dog. Back away. So that 3-item power spike for Goosey, where he's got a large amount of crit chance as well as the Infinity Edge to empower those crits.
Yeah, Lucian, while he does, you know, like any champion, like attack speed, he doesn't need it as much as a lot of the other crit-based AD carries because of how he gets off a lot of his autos in between his abilities. Q, auto, dash, auto, W, auto, dash, auto.
Hyperim has gone for the Blade of the Ruined King as his second offensive item as opposed to the more common Frozen Mallet. Looking to shred down tanks a little bit more effectively. There's a lot of health being stacked on the side of Oklahoma Platinum Rush, and strangely enough, there's a Frozen Mallet for Emma Hudson. You don't normally see that on Jarvan, but the lack of real resistance is on his side means that the health stacking is going to be countered very effectively, but they're going to catch Hoenn. He's going to get shredded down. Hero's entrance coming in onto Silverhammer as he goes in. Emma Hudson going to get stunned by the concussive blows. Shutdown goes over. That's a good 4-man top from Hayabusa tight show. They're going to catch onto Siggy Wiggy. Good combo from Silverhammer, and it will be an auto attack that from Windosaurus that takes out Siggy Wiggy. Double kill goes over to XYZ is onto Silverhammer. They get a double for themselves onto Windosaurus.
Whew, and as we saw in that fight, Jarvan went down.
Still coming through, takes a couple tower shots. Hayabusa gonna go in with the taunt, gonna Justice Punch on the XYZ. Windosaurus looking for the crits. The barrier comes out from Windosaurus. The trouble goes wide, but that's a big combo from Goosey, and that's the Lucian burst.
He gets greedy, trying to finish off XYZ, but Goosey walks up and deals so much damage so quickly. A lot of those hits were crits, but still.
And that's what you can do when you are playing this Lucian pick. Honestly, if you can close the gap without taking one free auto from a longer range ADC, Lucian, if you combo it and weave auto attacks in between abilities correctly, then you should basically win every 1v1, including against Vayne.
Oh wow, Flash is burned to try to get Troidalor, and he is going to flash away. Doesn't quite get caught.
By Hayabusa, the taunt's going to be used by Hoenn.
They're going to have to
now
back.
Skyfate looking for the Baron. They've only got one Mountain Drake. They're trying to clear out the control ward in the back, and Goosey's just shredding away at the Baron. Skyfade, they're only doing this with 3. They're both teleports being used on their way in. Chortler comes in from base, and Hyper Room comes in from the bottom lane. Going very low, the Winds of War coming across. Dr. Sigawiki getting low. There's the not stealing, but XY Xevious will die to Chortler. The Cataclysm comes in. They get a good wallop, but they can't find the Gnar. He's taunted up. Hyper Room goes down without using his ultimate. And now they knock away Hoenn, but an auto attack from Windosaurus will get the kill. And now Goosey on the run with the last remaining Baron buff.
Well, they get Baron and they lose 4. In terms of gold, they still come out on top by about 1 kill's worth because Baron is essentially worth 5 kills, 300 gold a
2
player.
kills because Emma Hudson did die.
Oh, you're right. I did not see that Emma Hudson did.
But yeah, Hyper Room, he was just chain CC'd in the Cataclysm, so he wasn't able to get onto any members of Oklahoma Platinum Rush and wasn't even able to get his ultimate off. But Hayabusa teleporting onto a minion to give it the invulnerability will mean that Oklahoma Platinum Rush are actually the ones who pick out 2 towers and an inhibitor after Baron goes over to Sky Fate.
Gonna start moving towards this bot lane tower. Gonna be able to take it really quickly thanks to this Tristana. Oh, but they see multiple members of the enemy team coming, so they don't want to deal with it. They don't have enough minions.
Don't want to overstay your welcome, Winners, by not going to find Chortler, but it will force him to walk away before recalling. Saurus is getting some good auto attacks off in fights. Chortler is actually going to have his recall. Not quite interrupted. Dr. Sigawiki realizes that there's someone there, but too late to get the winner's bite off. Another
the dragon is about to spawn.
20 seconds. Elder. Sky Fate would like to have this Elder Dragon. They do have 1 Baron still up, but they've got to deal with the pressure from that mid lane inhibitor going down. Hayabusa gonna get slowed up by the Blade of the Ring King. Concussive Blow stunned up with a double taunt onto him. Dr. Sigawiki and Hyper Room. The wallop will come through, and Hayabusa takes a chunk of damage.
I feel like you usually see the Elder Dragons show up at like 39 minutes or later. The fact that this one's showing up right at 35 is a testament to how quickly these teams have been taking Baron every time it's up.
I think it just means that the last one was.
Oh, I mean, yes, you're
28
right.
or 29 minutes.
They took it exactly 29 minutes.
Sky
but
Fate, they're looking to try and fight over this one. The Elder is going down. Oklahoma Platinum Rush are on it. The XY Xevious isn't quite here, but they're looking for the engage anyway. Ethereal Chain's used, and Hyper Room will break them. Hyper Room coming forward, gets a slow. Chortler coming in with a combo. He has to hop away. Glacial Fissure knocks up 3, but there's the Hero's Entrance. Not going to knock up anyone, but Oklahoma Platinum Rush getting a better end of the trade as Hyper Room is forced away. They're going to get Sleepy Trouble bubble off. Concussive Blows comes in. It's secured by Emma Hotson for Oklahoma Platinum Rush. The Winds of War coming through. Hyper Room will survive and they get the health back from the Triumph, but it's not going to matter as Windosaurus crits him down. XY Xevious looking for it. Windosaurus going to get a concussive blows, but it's not going to matter. Silver Hammer gets the combo. Goosey going down. Dr. Sigawiki, the last remaining member of Sky Fate, and it will be the 5 for 1 in favor of Oklahoma Platinum Rush. A quadra kill for Windosaurus and the ace for Oklahoma Platinum Rush.
Yeah, Hyper Room tried to go in there and immediately got chunked down by Trotolor, almost his entire health bar. He's only has armor and health, so very squishy to Trotolor. Good job on his part poking him out of the fight like that. And wow, that's going to be the game. They just take it right down mid, and the game is over.
Yep, Oklahoma Platinum Rush will take the victory over Sky Fate, pushing themselves to 3-1 after 4 weeks of the OKLCS. So we do have the rest of the games for Platinum Cap for you today. The next one on the schedule will be GSM Gecko Slammed Armageddon versus United is One Platinum. We'll get into that game after the break, but as for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Internet, hello and welcome back to OKLCS Spring 2018 Platinum Capped Week 4. We just saw Oklahoma Platinum Rush take the victory over Sky Fate. Sky Fate got a good fight early on, but they were unable to continue team fighting effectively. They weren't able to push down any more objectives, and Oklahoma Platinum Rush slowly overwhelmed them with a good fight around the Baron.
Yeah, they got that delayed ace in the bot lane during that first 5v5 fight, and it really looked like the game was going to go in their favor. They picked up first tower, got all those early kills, had a 3k gold lead, but they just weren't able to snowball that lead at all. They kept losing team fights as the game was going on, and slowly set themselves back to the point that one last lost team fight at about 36 minutes near that Elder Dragon led to just the game being over. They lost.
So the next game we have is between Gecko Slammed Armageddon and United has won Platinum. Go ahead and jump into that game without further ado. Gecko Slammed Armageddon on the blue side. They're coming in 3-0, so they are the only undefeated team coming into this week. We'll see if they can continue it into the next week. United has won Platinum, coming in 2-1 with just the one defeat on their records.
Yeah, and it's a pretty hype matchup for the most part, you know? One and GSM, groups that have been around for a very, very long time, almost since, well, one has been around a long time, but like in terms of like League of Legends teams, still around a long time, just not as long as one as a whole.
Yeah, so bans for this game: Jinx, Zac, and Echo on the side of Gecko Slammed Armageddon in the first rotation. United is one bans away Gangplank, Talon, and Kane. Dark Binding going to land onto Hofer, but nobody on GSM going to be able to follow through on that one. In the second round of bans, Braum and Lux are banned away from United is one by GSM, and United is one responds with Rakan and Thresh banned away from GSM.
Yeah, pretty hype matchup. Pretty hype matchup. So Aurelion Sol, he's somewhere between tier 1 and tier 2 in terms of the middle laners. We were talking about how often a lot of that certain tier 1 of mid laners are banned, especially in pro play. And Aurelion Sol's kind of weird. I haven't seen him get picked that often, but I feel like I've seen him banned quite a number of LCS games, despite not usually getting picked. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like some mid laners in the LCS can play him, some can't.
Waldo started with Flame Breath on Shooter. That will empower his auto attacks with some % health damage on the buff, but I guess it depends on how many autos your bot lane gives you, whether that's more effective than taking the W, Burnout, just for that sustained damage. Burnout does give you a lot of damage onto your camps because the duration is increased every time you get an auto off while it's running, to a certain point, obviously.
Yeah. I think it starts out at 2 or 3 seconds, goes up to 5 or 6, something along those lines. So quite a lot of damage if you can keep it going with those autos.
So we were talking about this matchup actually shortly after they changed Ornn so that he's no longer unstoppable, by the way, whenever he uses the Bellows Breath. We're now Tall Guy on the Maokai. Every time that Levis goes for the Bellows Breath onto him, he can just knock him away with the Bramble Smash. Good Black Shield will eat the bubble for Naked Beekeeper.
Nami's getting pretty low, so is Naked Beekeeper, but Nami is a... Well, she is mostly a sustained support. That's something that she's definitely proficient at compared to a lot of supports. So when those trades look relatively even, Nami is actually kind of winning them.
All just depends on how well Hofer manages that mana. And Hofer, coming in as a sub for United is one, did so as well during playoffs last season. And he had some really standout Nami games during playoffs. Ending some really good bubbles, throwing the tidal waves perfectly across members of the enemy team.
But before that fight broke out, Ornn, his Bellows Breath, now interruptible. And guess who can interrupt it very easily? Maokai. Drop a Q. I think, does his W would interrupt it as well, wouldn't it? He would stop him from walking forward with the root, so would he not continue out the breath, or would he do it standing still? I guess we'll just have to watch and see.
Sage gonna gank onto Levis. There's gonna be the slow coming in. Tall Guy already used the Twisted Advance, unfortunately, so it will just be a stun and some damage.
Hey, I mean, that can always still be helpful as well.
So being used to force Beerus a little bit forward. Naked Beekeeper doesn't really fancy these trades though. Beerus is playing one of the very lane dominant marksmen, the Varus, and just sort of harass a lot of enemy ADCs general in lane. The Aqua Prison not quite gonna find Naked Beekeeper. Silver Spade trusts his ADC not to need the Black Shield, either that or it was down, but the silence will stop the stars for just a second.
I could just picture some snooty Morgana support. I'm not gonna shield you. Why not? Because you shouldn't be getting hit by the Thresh hooks anyway. Like, you will dodge those. I don't need to shield you.
It's like training you. It's like, if I don't bail you out, you gotta learn yourself. Dragon soloed up by Waldo for the side of GSM, so that will be some resistances for Shyvana, as well as the Ocean Drake regen for GSM during this extended laning phase. I guess not really extended, it's just so early to take that Ocean.
And some people still don't know, but Shyvana, ever since her changes, she doesn't get just free resistances anymore that are doubled when she's ulting. Now she gets resistances every time her team takes a dragon. And
permanently.
Yes, permanently. So that was, you know, obviously a better passive than the old one where you just get resistances. Pretty boring passive.
Yeah, you become stronger by killing your own kind.
Okay, so is she a full dragon or is she a half dragon? She's a half dragon.
That's actually her title, Shyvana, the half dragon.
Shyvana, the half dragon. Nice.
Chrono Swifty coming down to clear out a control ward on the pit. Sentai Sage looking around that bottom lane, but he is going to be spotted out by a ward for GSM. GSM not even really in a position to be ganked. That's we're just a brute force. Good combo from Levis onto Tall Guy. Gonna get the Aftershock off, surprisingly enough. Is Aftershock normally what you see on the Ornn? I don't think it is.
I
think more
not
often
usually.
than not, it's the Grasp of the Undying or something weird like Unsealed Spellbook or Kleptomancy back when that was really good.
No, yeah, you're right. And that's why not really, because it is a little bit. Despite a lot of the CC he does have, it's like more conditional a lot of the time, a little bit less on demand than other things. He would have to hit you with either the brittle proc with his auto to proc it, or hit you with the second part of the ultimate, or the knockup from the E, like that one.
Yes, Levis is coming out very far ahead in these trades on the Tall Guy. Tall Guy just using a Bramble Smash either to CS or for harass, not really using it for the most optimal of trades.
As far as tanks go, Maokai does pretty well in this lane because between spamming QW and sometimes E, Maokai gets, compared to other tanky top laners, quite a bit of activations on his passive to get him towards those more frequent autos that heal him. I forget, Sap Magic? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the auto that heals? Yeah.
Yes, Sap Magic.
Tall Guy really taking the lesser end of these trades consistently with Levis. The Bramble Smash comes out after the fact and doesn't really help you negate a lot of damage. Both of these mid laners, Seymour and Chrono Swift, just Malzahar and Aurelion Sol, they kind of just want to shove their waves and not really do anything. Gonna get another knockup and Brambles, the Brittle proc onto Tall Guy. Naked Beekeeper very far behind in this lane right now. It's already 21 CS lead for Beerus over Naked Beekeeper. The Black Shield used not really to block a whole lot of anything. It's the E over the side, says, see ya. Waldo did have the Dragon's Descent if he really wanted to commit onto that one, but the silence had already missed. Beerus gonna get the slow with the Tidecaller's Blessing from Hofer, and there's Aqua Prison nice onto him, but no follow through. They don't want to go too hard for that one. Black Shield dropped onto Naked Beekeeper.
He might just be because he's been lowish on mana, but I haven't seen Tall Guy use the saplings in the top lane brush much, which doing that strategically and knocking people towards it with your Q and trades that you do near there, like somewhere they think that they're safe, but then they don't end up being, can be a really big part of it because they do a substantial amount of max health damage, especially when they get empowered by the brush. But I haven't seen him doing that much, and he's starting to lose these trades against Ornn, and I think maybe it's because he's not utilizing his kit enough, but it could also just be because he's low on mana, doesn't want to use the saplings. All right, in the bot lane, we haven't touched on this really yet, but Beerus is way ahead of Naked Beekeeper right now. Yes, you just said that? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, I was thinking about that stuff in the top wave of the saplings. My bad. But yep, quite a significant CS lead. And a lot of that could be attributed to Hoffer's pretty excellent harass on Nami.
Now they're going to go aggressive. Dark Binding goes wide from Silver Spade, and it will be, you know, actually a pretty even trade. But here comes Chrono Swifty in the backside. Flash Chain of Corruption will land, but they missed the Voice of Light and the Glacial Prison. A huge botch by United as one, and they're going to lose. Well, they will pick up first blood with the Ignite for Chrono Swifty. They flash forward, but it's going to be a knockup from Levis after he teleports in. Teleport came in from Tall Guy, and it will be the 1-for-1. Beerus goes down. A huge mistake by United as one.
Silver Spade. It's going to back up. Get it back off. There's a sapling.
Yeah, Chrono Swifty came in. It was a good flash chain of corruption from Beerus to pick up, lock up Naked Beekeeper, but then Chrono Swifty just straight up misses Voice of Light. Sentai Sage misses Glacial Prison, and then they go too deep. Chrono Swifty actually flashes back forward trying to pick up Silver Spade, but is not able to find the stars. The stars do not align.
Alex, they don't do a line, they do a circle.
Okay, gonna take a recall here. He is himself also down 10 CS to his upset number. Levis has just been dominating him lane.
Fortunately for Levis, it looks like he's not going to get to this lane soon enough to get a lot of that CS. A big wave just crashed into the top lane. Right, it looks like they're... Nope, not really hurting for this dragon. It's kind of nice to be a Shyvana because there still feels like there's a reason to take Ocean Drakes. Your team's like, ah, it's just Ocean. It's not the most helpful thing in the world. And you're just like, wait, we need it. More CS.
Come on, team.
Or more more CS.
More regen.
More regen. More armor. More MR. Great. Both mid laners just taking turns, clearing out these waves. Both of them, both of these champions, pretty good at wave clear. Oh, I wanted to take a fight against Levis here.
That worked out, right? Because he dodged the Bellows Breath with the Twisted Advance. Unfortunately, he still loses the trade because he's somewhat behind. Levis has a level lead. Has about even in terms of combat stats, but Ornn has
that level lead makes a big difference. You know, all those scaling base stats can really add up. More armor, more AD, more attack speed, more everything.
There used to be, oh, Chain of Corruption thrown out with
nice,
a black shield, nicely done by Silver Spade, but here comes the rest of United's one. Dark Binding will miss, and the black shield is expired. They go in, doesn't land the Glacial Prison yet. There's the Nether Grasp on the Chrono Swifty. He's forced away, and Waldo's going to take him out. Seymour actually gets the kill with the DOT, and Naked Beekeeper did make it out. Dark Binding going to land onto Sentai Sage. Now he's the focused GSM looking for him. There's the burn, and Waldo will pick up another one.
Wow, that fight looked like it was going in favor of one, but gets turned on its head.
They're forcing way too hard, not using their abilities optimally. I don't know where the Voice of Light went, but I don't think I didn't even see it. Seymour gets a Nether Grasp on the Chrono Swifty. It's just an easy focus. The question is, up against something like Malzahar, you really can't have a one-man flank. It just doesn't work.
No.
That's so easy to just turn on. And now Levis calling the Forge God down. Nice! That Twisted Advance from Tall Guy will stop him from getting hit, as well as stop him from the charge, but Tall Guy still has to flash away. Levis does have his own flash, looking for it, doesn't have the mana!
Ooh!
Nice stopwatch from Tall Guy will dodge the Q damage, and it will mean nobody dies in that top lane.
A lot of good reflexes and reactions from Tall Guy there, except now that he's staying, that one's a bad decision.
Probably should just back, because it's going to be very difficult for you to get this.
I mean, I guess Levis is out of mana, and he does have Sap Magic up, so relatively safe. And now he's gonna back. Just wanted to pick up that one more wave. They go ahead and let the 80 carry back and start shoving the wave.
Seymour picks up the Morellonomicon and the Sork boots. Chrono Shrifty has the Hextech GLP. We'll give him a little bit of that extra burst with the active and the slow. Dark Mining is going to land onto Hofer. They just continue to shove in. They are very behind now. 30 CS has ballooned from that 20 we saw earlier. Winsu's Rage Blade completed for Beerus means that he is at a very strong point for the Varus. If United as one can play around Beerus's lead and the strength and power spike he's hit now on this Varus without botching any of their teamfight ultimates or their, walking in one by one to that Seymour good. Wait, how did he get out? Oh, he stunned him with the Q.
Yep.
He threw the Q out and now he's going to use the Voice of Light. Oh, beautiful use of Dragon's Ascent. Goes unstoppable as the Voice of Light comes out. He's going to try and use the slow. Misses the Q. They're going to jump onto him. The silence comes through, and it will be Naked Beekeeper picking up the kill with the auto attack. So, there were a number of mistakes there, and there's another one. Twisted Advance comes through onto Levis. They're going to stun him up. He calls down the Forge God, and they're going to root him up so that he cannot proc the second part of it, and Levis is going to be going down. Tall Guy will pick it up with the Sunfire Cape.
Was it me, or did it look like after he got knocked to the side, his Bellow Breath still kind of off? I don't know. Maybe at the end of the Bellow Breath, there's kind of an animation as he does it, and that part can't be interrupted, and they just didn't cue it quick enough.
So, Seymour using his ultimate as the Q is coming in towards him, which is going to stun you because you're in the range of it, even if Chrono Shifty doesn't detonate it. That was a mistake on the side of GSM. Thankfully, Waldo is there, and Waldo himself makes a very good play of using the Dragon's Ascent to go unstoppable as the Voice of Light comes out. He can't get knocked away.
Players in this game definitely have good knowledge of these moments of unstoppable, and these moments where their opponents are weak. They're doing it. They did a good job of it, and especially in that fight we watched earlier between the top lane tanks. Tall Guy really working around those abilities coming out of the Ornn, showing that he has some pretty significant experience in that matchup, being able to dodge under the ultimate as well as stop the next part of proc of it, and etc.
In spite of all that, Tall Guy is down 20 CS to Levis, kind of negating the lead that Chrono Shrifty has over Seymour in terms of overall goal.
Yeah, Chrono Shrifty, the only member of his team that has, I say the only member of his team who has a CS lead, as I forget that the bot lane has a very significant CS.
Beerus and Hofer are dominating onto the bottom lane of GSM. Sentai gets the Nether Grasp, but it's not doing too much damage. He's just gonna walk it out. Oh, but he gets creep blocked. Double teleports coming in. Tall Guy comes in. Here's the call of the Forge God. Tall Guy is not able to stop it, and then knocks out multiple members. Sentai Sage super low, and there's the Maokai ultimate. The Voice of Light pushes them all away. Double Aqua Prison lands. Tall Guy trying to beat the big tank in the middle, and Levis will fall. Silver Spade gonna get the Glacial Prison, but the Soul Shackles come through. Tall Guy super low, but he gets the heal out from Sap Magic as well as Hofer's Ebb and Flow, and in the end, it's a 2-for-0 in favor of United as one, but their health bars are blinking red.
All right, so good news for one. They win a fight after losing several fights, despite their gold leads and CS leads during the last several fights. They end up losing a lot of them to this point, though. They finally are able to pick one up, and hopefully they can start to get some objectives now with this newfound confidence after winning a fight. They're like, we can win these fights. Let's start fighting. Let's go for these objectives. They haven't taken a single tower or dragon this game. It looks like they're finally going to remedy that first tower down for one.
And I think a lot of that has to do with how well Hofer covered the escape using the tidal wave. And as we said, Hofer has some really good performances on this Nami pick. Chrono Shrifty knocked them all, and it was a game of disengage and re-engage for United as one. The Chrono Shrifty used the Voice of Light to push them all away. GSM try to come back in. Hofer pushes them away with the tidal wave. They try to come back in, and by that point they've taken so much ambient damage from United as one that they were able to turn the fight, and they weren't able to close out the kill on the Sentai Sage even through the Nether Grasp they used at the beginning of the fight.
Tall X guy finally has enough items and gold to fight back against the Levi's. He has a combination of armor and MR, which is good because Ornn does a combination of physical and magic damage. I think his W is magic, his Q is physical, his autos do physical, his brittle, I can't remember which.
Well, I believe the brittle proc does
Physical, gotcha.
So Mountain Drake started up by United as one as they give the Rift Herald over to GSM, trying to deny some more of these stacks for Waldo's Shyvana, but Waldo, in the meanwhile, he says, I know I'm not going to be able to get there in time, just going for some counter jungling on Sentai's top side. A 38 CS lead for Waldo over Sentai Sage. Quote-unquote CS, I guess you could say. Ah, there you go. That's what you want to do.
He still did it.
What? The Bramble Smash?
No, he still did his puff at the end.
Yeah, no, you can still do the puff,
Gotcha.
but it'll knock you back still, so that you can't get the auto attack. And here's the call of the Forge God because 3 members of GSM, they use the Nether Grasp onto him, and Waldo just gonna continue to auto him down. Bramble Smash gets him out of there, and the Blue Smite will come through, and Waldo picks up the kill with the burnout. Chrono Shifty coming through, but Waldo has the Dragon's Ascent available. Sentai Sage trying to hold off on bot lane, but it will go down to GSM, and GSM are still ahead in terms of towers.
Oh, Maokai looks sad when he did. Just a knocked over tree.
Trees, when they die, it's generally because they're cut down, so they are generally knocked over. The Chrono Shifty trying to get the slow onto Levis. He actually, I don't know, did he land that Tech GLP? In either case, here comes the star, is going to stun him up, and Chrono Shifty will just watch him die. Voice of Light to come through. Waldo is behind him, though. Dragon's Ascent will push him back away. Chrono Shifty running for his life, flashes away. Gonna get the follow flash, and Waldo will get the stun off. Waldo just continues chasing down, throws out the stars as best he can, but that's a lot of damage. Press the attack comes through, and there's the Flame Breath. Waldo on a killing spree.
It looked like he was trying to wait next to that wall until his E came back up, but Waldo goes in on him too quickly, and he's not able to use that as his escape route. I'm surprised he didn't flash over that wall, but maybe he didn't think he could make it.
To be honest with you, I think Chrono Shifty might have made it out, because he did not need to use his ultimate to kill Levis. Just needed to get one more star to proc on him, had plenty of time to set it up and do so, and then he could have used the Voice of Light to push away Waldo after the Dragon's Ascent.
I can understand not wanting to walk under the tower, but it seems like it is a little bit of a wasted deal.
Dark Binding gonna get Sentai Sage, will pop his passive down. Tall Guy finally gonna take out that top lane tower in favor of United as one. And tank fights. Levis coming back, starting to win him up again, but the Twisted Advance comes through because here comes the bottom lane of GSM, or United is one, but rather Waldo on here. There's going to get the Arcus, I'll call the Forge God comes through, they're going to Dragon's Ascent in, and Beerus is actually melting very quickly. Seymour gets knocked up, but it's going to be absorbed by the Black Shield and his own shield. Beerus gets the Nethergrass, Waldo is going to still survive, Naked Beekeeper hops over, Hofer going to die to the explosive charge. No, he gets the heal off of the ebb and flow. Chrono Shifty can't be in there, and it is 3 more kills for United, or for GSM.
Naked Beekeeper there accidentally cancels his auto attack at literally this last possible moment.
Doesn't mean Hofer survives, but GSM they're happy to look for the Baron. Only 2 members of United is one. Chrono Shifty is here. He does have the Voice of Light. He's gonna try and do something here. He's going very low. He gets silenced up, and he will mean that he is gonna go for it. No, it's secured by GSM.
Pretty close fight, but GSM comes out on top in large part because of how long Waldo was able to stand in that fight, dealing damage and tanking.
I love Waldo's build with the early adaptive helm against Aurelion Sol and against an on-hit Varus. This is absolutely brilliant adaptive build. Adaptive helm and the adaptive build. Now Sentai Sage over on the side, Silver Spade going to throw out the Dark Binding, going to root up the enemy jungler. Now that means United's one, they can't engage, which means they're giving up this tower. The Rich Herald is going to knock away at it. They get a good Twisted Advance, and Levis is caught by the Aqua Prison. gonna get stunned up. The Black Shield comes out too late. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Levis is going very low. He will die to Beerus' auto attack, and Chrono Shifty going with the stars. Buster Shot comes through. There's the Voice of Light to slow up all of GSM as they're on the run. Dark Binding gonna find Tall Guy. Flash forward from Sentai Sage, but he's taking a lot of damage. Throws out the Glacial Prison. It's gonna land on the Seymour, but Nether Grasp is still available. Chain of Corruption, and the Black Shield comes through, but he's gonna get onto Beerus, and Beerus will fall. Rocket jump away from Naked Beekeeper, trying to cut it out. Here's the Maokai ultimate coming in. He's gonna get rooted. He can't get away. Hofer will die to the Flame Breath in the backside, and Waldo is the last remaining member of GSM, but he's got plenty of damage to spare. Tall Guy running for his life. Flame Breath comes through. Waldo still continues to chase.
Run, Forrest, run.
Flame Breath coming through. The Blue Smite will secure the kill. Surely. No, Waldo gives up.
Get it, Alex? Because he's a tree? Ha ha! Best pun of Spring 2018 so far for
GSM, GSM, after picking up the Baron, kind of throw away 4 of their buffs due to a very fragmented fight.
Yeah,
a nice
sure.
engage by Tall Guy. Gets the Twisted Advance, and then Hofer immediately follows with the Aqua Prison. No chance of flashing, and the Black Shield out of range from Silver Spade.
Both teams going to start moving towards this dragon, spawning in 40 seconds. One looks to be the first team to get to the dragon. They're going to start claiming vision control, start posting up. GSM comes in on the backside, trying to clear away some wards.
The big discrepancy now in terms of GSM's power is actually in the jungle position. Waldo, level 15 to Sentai Sage's level 12. Now the Dark Binding gonna land. Soul Shackle's used onto just 1. They're gonna actually... Good bubble will stop Waldo from coming in. Teleport used by Levis, looking for Call of the Forge God over the side. Seymour goes in, Flash, Nether Grasp onto Hofer, Glacial Prison, and Naked Beekeeper actually falls instantly! Double kill though for Waldo as he's absolutely melting the members of United as one. Beerus now may have walked a little bit too far forward. Maokai ultimate coming through, Dark Binding will stop him from coming, but Levis now rooted up. Silver Spade on the run. They're trying to get onto Tall Guy, and he flashes in, gets it onto Seymour. Seymour will die! Arrow doesn't find Silver Spade. Tall Guy still continuing to chase. Twisted Advance is going to come in, and the Bramble Smash will be a double kill. There's the knockup from Levis onto Beerus, but it doesn't matter. He's surrounded by all of United as one. Waldo just taking his Baron-empowered recall, saying, see you, bud. Triple kill goes over to Tall Guy. And United as one come out ahead in yet another fight.
Yeah, that fight was not looking in favor for them at first. After Naked Beekeeper had... Not Naked Beekeeper. After Chrono Swifty goes down, and Naked Beekeeper though throws his life away by jumping right into the fight right at the very beginning, takes a ton of damage by Chrono Swifty before he goes down, and they're out an 80 carry for the rest of the fight. And then without that 80 carry, the tanks on the team just chase down the remaining members. All their DPS, Seymour and Naked Beekeeper, first ones to go down, and then Waldo just gets chased away off the backside once he becomes outnumbered.
And GSM, we normally see them play it a little bit... Well, actually very slow is kind of the joke now. But they played a little too fast that time. Seymour flashed to Nether Grasp, a support Nami. Didn't even kill her before she got her ultimate off. And then Naked Beekeeper rocket jumps into his own death.
A little too aggressive.
Chrono Shifty going to be denied the control ward kill. Dragon does go over in favor of United as one, so they do have the Mountain Dragon to their name. In addition to that ocean. Waldo's 705 is a big source of damage for his team. He's gone for the more high damage oriented Titanic Hydra rather than the usual Frozen Mallet build on Shyvana. So he's going to be doing a lot of burst if he can ever get onto multiple members of United as one.
For sure. Tall Guy shoving in the bot lane. He's got himself to the point of being 6-2-3 after spending a lot of the early game behind Levi. So
I don't know. A lot of people don't know, but when Waldo uses Twin Bite while in Dragon form, it actually is like it's basically having Runons that affects everybody near you because it applies on hits to everybody that is within your attack range when you pop the Q twice. Of course, there is a interaction with it that you can't proc multiple Hydra procs with it, so that's So that's kind of reduces the ability to just blow up a team by pressing Q and having Titanic Hydra rock everybody.
Yeah, because is Hydra bound to attack instead of on hit, or what's the?
I think so. I'm
I'm
no, it
I'm not
is
sure.
on hit. It is on hit, but it has its own internal timer that it itself will not go multiple times like with where Shyvana will.
Like with a Gwynsu's or with her Q.
Well, it will. Okay, so it's kind of weird. It will proc it like multiple times with her Q. The damage part will. Oh, but here's the Maokai ultimate. She's gonna come across all of GSM. They're gonna root up 2, but the tidal wave comes in a little bit slow. The Call of the Forge God is gonna be used. Levis knocks out multiple members. The Glacial Prison onto 1. Redemption gonna come in. Seymour gonna be topped back off, and nobody has gone down yet.
All these engage ultimates, all these big cooldown abilities getting used. Redemption's coming down, and everybody walks away.
I think
pretty
Tall
much
Guy could have
unscathed.
angled that one a little bit farther downward.
I agree.
Would have come across more members of GSM rather.
Okay, was in range.
Oh, there's the Flash Chain of Corruption onto 1. Levis is gonna get the Black Shield, so he won't even get rooted. So a little bit of a waste on both of Beerus' Flash and his ultimate. Now Beerus taking some aggression from Naked Beekeeper, gets a few crits. Now Tall Guy gonna get knocked up in place. He's gonna get silenced up, and now he's trying to run for it. Dark Binding will end on the Beerus. Aqua Prison comes through, but the Black Shield eats it, and Waldo from the backside goes legendary. He picks up 1. The Rocket Jump 4 from Naked Beekeeper, because now it's finally safe. Sentai Sage has the explosive charge on him, but they can't get any more auto attacks off, and GSM pick up 2 for 0.
That's a pretty big fight. This is very possibly going to be an inhibitor for GSM.
No Chrono Shifty, he's gonna try and wave clear. He's still got the Voice of Light, but he's silenced up. Seymour gets the Black Shield, and GSM forced down a tower. It's almost 6k gold is the lead for GSM now. Now they move towards the Baron. They do not have any Mountain Drakes, but they do have Malzahar with Leandries as well as an ADC and Shyvana. Will take it down fairly quickly. Rest, all of United is one that is alive at least. On their way in here, Sentai Sage gonna look for the Miracle Steel, but he's 2 levels down. Call of the Forge gonna come through. Sentai Sage gets in, but no, it's secured. And Nether Grasp used onto Waldo. He doesn't even get a chance. He's gonna flash over the side. Now Chrono Shift, he's caught by the Dark Binding, and Waldo jumps over. Naked Beekeeper gets the kill with the auto attack over the wall. Redemption gonna top him off yet again.
Right, that's Baron buff for GSM. They have a pretty significant gold lead right now, and it looks like, yeah, almost 8k. And it looks like they're just going to, you know, do what we expect of GSM usually. Start to play pretty safe. Play slowly push down objectives if they can.
Slowly push into the base, choke out United is one of resources. Tall Guy, now really the only member of his team that's really far ahead of his counterpart. Just the 6 kills he's got over Levis, and the fact that he's been farming up, while Levis sort of seems to have dropped off a little bit as far as farm goes.
Red buff going to go over to Naked Beekeeper here.
Now with that Baron going down, it is almost an 8k gold lead for GSM. Looking to try and close out 4 weeks undefeated. The sweeper coming through. Want to get caught here. Tall Guy gonna push Levis away, but the Dark Binding will land onto that tank. Just neutralizes him a little bit. Naked Beekeeper getting some good crits. They flash Nether Grasp him. Chrono Shifty is gonna go down. Naked Beaver gets him with the explosive charge, but it will be cost Seymour his life. Chain of Corruption now spreading through GSM. Sentai Sage comes through, but he's in the middle of GSM. Chain of Corruption will root him up. They knock away Tall Guy with a Buster Shot. Dark Binding comes through. Waldo getting ready to jump in. He's gonna get down onto Sentai Sage. No more tanks available for United 1 because Tall Guy is chunked down very low. Now waiting still with the Dragon's Ascent. Seymour did die yet again for GSM. Dark Binding lands and the Dragon's Ascent comes through! The Black Shield comes in and they get in there, and a double kill goes over to Waldo as he picks up both bottom laners, and it will slowly be Tall Guy as well, the triple for GSM's jungler. And they will force down the inhibitor in the bottom lane and possibly the game.
Man, Waldo 11-0-6 now. He's been snowballing for so much of this game. Earlier in this game, we commented on like, wow, after that fight, he's 5-0-5 with a ton of CS. And it's only gotten more extreme from there. 252 CS, more than several players in this game.
Yep,
I
and it
saw
will
this from
just
Silver
be
Spade. Gonna
GSM
save his life there at
picking
the
up
end.
the 4-0 in the first 4 weeks of OKLCS with this victory over United as one.
Really well played on their part. They had some shaky moments where one started to make a comeback, started winning some fights. Waldo's able to snowball like crazy on the Shyvana and is able to close out the game.
Yeah, nicely done. That huge lead for Waldo results in him slowly just sort of cleaning up fights just because of how strong he is. He's able to clean up fights a little bit earlier than you would expect them to be quote unquote cleaned up. More so just like one person on the enemy team dies and he just runs in and kills 4 more people. In any case, that will be GSM taking the 4-0, and we will take a short break before we get into our next game. Thank you all for watching.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to OKLCS Spring 2018. I am Jack. Jack Loves Lamb Counts, and this is Corey Hungerbunger Bunger.
Yes.
Yes, I was about to say that is your last name, right? Yes,
Yes, it
Corey
is.
Hungerbunger Bunger. He plays on within the OU competitive organization. Sometimes plat a little bit. I
No,
think you
just
might
gold.
be plat this week actually.
No, I think it's Blender Fist that's going up.
Blenderfist is going up.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I didn't make the call on that. Trevor, coach, making the call on that
Yes.
this week. But yeah, so he will be casting with us for most of the rest of the night. I think 3 games remaining. The game that we are about to see is OU Platinum versus Brahms Bodybuilders. OU Platinum 1 and 2 coming into this week. Brahms Bodybuilders, I believe 0 and 3. Yes, Brahms Bodybuilders 0 and 3 so far. And that's enough talking. We'll get right into it. It did not unpause. There we go. Unpaused. All right, so on the red side, you've got, I believe, yes, that is OU Platinum, and on the blue side, Brahms Bodybuilders. So the bans for this game were as follows. Blue side, Brahms Bodybuilders, banned Echo, Fizz, and Rakan in round 1, and then in the second round of banning, decided to ban Skarner and Vlad. Totally makes sense. Those are definitely some strong meta picks. And over on OU Platinum side, they banned Malzahar, Soraka, and Sejuani in round 1. And in round 2, Lux and Ziggs. Not really meta picks. A lot of those bans, except for Sejuani, so probably were eyeing Shafty's champion pool. We're like, we do not want to deal with these mid laners. He seems like one of the bigger threats on the team. I mean, I'm assuming
Well,
if they were target banning him, they either thought he had the smallest champion pool or was one of the biggest threats.
And it is definitely a little bit unorthodox. I haven't seen a Morgana mid in a while, so it seems definitely to be more like a comfort pick.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of it in Diamond Capped here and there. Pretty much just Echoed Voice, the mid laner for Landsnack, has been picking it, or at least picked it earlier in the season. And it has seen a little bit of very, very small amount of high level play as just a generally safe pick. She's got it's not exactly spell vamp anymore, I don't think, but she does heal off of her abilities on the minions slightly. So she just drops it on casters, can clear it from a distance, and gets back a small percentage of health.
It also helps Black Shield, especially in the case of an AD jungler like this J4 coming in, completely dodges the entirety of the knockup.
Yeah, no, because that's some of the counterplay to the Black Shield. She pops it, and you're like, I hit that with an AP ability, or a magic damaging ability. I can clear it, and then I can CC. But if you are a Jarvan, you really don't have a lot of ways to get around that.
No, you don't.
I think the flag might do magic damage, not enough to break the
no,
shield.
Definitely not.
But I think it might.
I believe it does.
That's back from the day where a lot of abilities in League of Legends, whether it seemed like a physical damage thing or not, were magic damage just because they were like abilities, and it was ability power, strengthen your abilities. But as they've gone forward, a lot of champions have had their kits generally reduced to one type of damage, Like Aatrox's E and his ult used to do magic. They recently changed the E to do physical, and when he gets reworked, I assume everything in his kit will probably do physical. Unless he has some sort of magic on hit thing. Ooh, gank into the top lane, going into Speed Machine, who, we didn't talk about this before, but decided to go Predator Ignite, Roam Machine. Narcoleptic takes a lot of damage as Legit shows up to the lane, has to flash away. Luke Ward going to Bramble Smash, knock both the jungler and laner for Brahms Bodybuilders back, and his jungler's just going to head back into the jungle. It looked like Morgana was starting to roam up, but she's just going to head back to mid lane. She can shove relatively quickly, comparatively quickly to Cassiopeia, exactly. Cassiopeia looks like already close to out of mana. Does have some mana refunds, I think, on the way her Twin Fangs works. Maybe it doesn't. Might just heal her. Can't remember now.
I think Twin Fangs, it refunds the mana cost if it kills them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm not sure on that.
At least it gives back health. All right, Jarvan goes pretty low in his jungle, but he's going to be okay. Going to pick up those Krugs and get off the first back of the game. He can't clear for as long as he used to ever since very recently he had a base armor nerf. So it's pretty impactful when it comes to Raptors and Krugs. Everyone across the map just sort of relaxing. No ganks, just a bit of farm. Bot laners both playing pretty safely. Alistar doesn't seem to want to play all that aggressively, and the enemy bot lane is Janna Ezreal. That is pretty darn safe. So not a lot that they can really do here. Just going to be a farm fest here in the bot lane. See who can farm better. Occasionally, we might see the support step in to harass a little bit just to try to disrupt the CSing process. Maybe just try to secure some small leads for their respective AD carry, but both of them pretty close in CS right now. Ever so slightly, there's a lead for Water Bear, but it's like 2 CS. Very easy to catch that back up. In the mid lane, looks like Life of Tennis has to back. Tired of being out of mana. Gonna start heading towards mid. Looks like he's gonna be set back from his back. I wonder if we're gonna see a lot of roaming from Speed Machine in the top lane. He hasn't used Predator yet. I mean, you have to have boots to use Predator, so that makes sense. But he hasn't been able to use it. He hasn't used his Ignite. I don't know if his goal is just to run into mid or bot lane. Stealth while he's running in, use Predator to close the gap while invisible, and then just jump on them and Ignite. I mean, that seems like what it is, but that also seems a little bit gimmicky. But we'll have to see. I mean, gimmicks can work.
There's an engage in the bot lane now. It's stun onto Ezreal.
A lot of damage, but we're gonna go watch mid lane instead. Nice ult on an Narcoleptic, and here comes a flash from Legit. Flash into Vault Breaker, going to take down Narcoleptic. First blood in favor of Brahms Bodybuilders.
That's just what we were talking about with the, or at least what I was mentioning earlier with the Black Shield, just completely nullifying that knockup from Jarvan.
Yeah, no, it works very well. It will be a bummer for her. Oh, that shield barely saves her. And Piplup walks away, surviving by the skin of his teeth. Gonna start popping some potions and stay in lane a little bit longer. Alistar, you know, you don't really think about it when you think Alistar. You don't think sustain. But every wave and a half or so, he does pop a small heal for him in the AD carry. That doesn't cost him any mana, so that's pretty neat. He does have a little bit of sustain, plus, you know, Relic Shield supports. Every time they get that proc off, it does heal
here's
for
that
small
Predator.
Oh, hey, here it is. Predator Ignite. Wow.
Good flash.
That was a large amount of damage from just the Predator proc plus Ignite plus his Q. A lot of burst in a very short amount of time. Narcoleptic, wait, hanging out in the bush here. Is he gonna go in? They go in onto Ezreal. Showtime starts taking damage. He has to phase. Oh, Piplup's taking tower shots and he goes down, but the kill goes over to Aetheril. And Waterbear's gonna pick up the kill on Aetheril. So bummer for Ezreal, only gets an assist, whereas the kill goes over to OU Platinum's AD carry. Not what you want in a 1-for-1. Up in the top lane. After the roam, Luke Ward was able to secure himself a bit of a CS lead. Sucks for Speed Machine. He's not able to turn that roam into a kill this time. So the flash for Life of Tennis is down, and he saw how much damage he was able to do.
He's
so as soon as
again.
he is coming back
for it.
Life of Tennis, nice. Oh, Miasma, but it's not gonna matter.
Oh,
Good stun
good
there
ultimate,
as
though.
well, but Shafty. It is past 6 minutes, so he is going to have that. Wow, nice root onto Legit. Legit uses the Vault Breaker, gets just outside of turret range, thanks to it. Shafty gonna Black Shield that Maokai ult as well. Make sure that he stays far away from the fight, and nice. Luke Ward gonna back, and he's not gonna tell him. He doesn't have to teleported down to the mid lane just now to help out with the fight. Help Life of Tennis not die to the dive. Machine really going ham with the roaming in this matchup.
Yes, and something to note, all of the stopwatches have been used on the side of BBB.
Oh, already? Wow.
So that leaves 2 still on OU, on the Tristana and then on the Maokai.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to give an advantage the next time a big fight breaks out. I am happy to see, my personal opinion, happy to see Stopwatch getting nerfed a good bit in the next patch. Nice ult from Aetheril.
But it knocks Alistar directly to Ezreal.
Well, it knocks Alistar directly to Ezreal, but... Down goes Aetherl to the Jarvan Cataclysm. No, he goes down to Water Bear. Jarvan has to flash away from Showtime, and he's going to survive. Water Bear keeps on the chase, though. He's chasing down Showtime. Meanwhile, Piplup dealing with Shafty in the backside. Jarvan comes back into the fight after healing from that refillable pot. Healing from those. Ooh, there's the stopwatch. Dodging the Q. Piplup gonna get in the way to make sure another one doesn't land. Legit does not have flash, so he can't flash ult like he really wants to on Water Bear. He's not gonna have the range. Doesn't want to ult onto one of the tanks. That's just a waste of an ult. And they're going to get away. None of them go down during that fight, and they pick up 2 kills onto Aetherl and Shafty. Good pickup for OU Platinum. Downside though, they are forced back. Brahms Bodybuilders have the jungler in spot lane and pick up the dragon. It is only a cloud, you know, so not too bad of a trade. They pick up some kills. Luke Ward, meanwhile, sees Wukong running all over the map, so he's just going to sit top lane and put some damage on this turret. I think that turret is now the closest on the map to turret first blood. Yeah, you always want to prioritize the mid towers, but when it comes to the first tower of the game, you just want the first one. You don't care which one it is. Wukong heads back to the top lane. I'm actually surprised and impressed with Speed Machine that he's able to keep up in CS, even generate a small advantage here in the top lane, despite all the roaming he's doing. I mean, Luke Ward's done a little bit of roaming as well, teleporting down to the mid lane, but I think Speed Machine must be doing a good job with his last hitting, which is helping him roam without losing as much. Yeah, I mean, it's easier to last hit on an AD champion than an AP champion, just
slightly.
Yeah, just slightly
It's
for the
only
most part,
slightly.
because he can, you know, whack those minions and always get the last hit a little bit more consistently. I, for one, as a top laner, it can be no fun to try and last hit as a tank sometimes. Your auto attacks do so little damage. When all the minions start to just focus a minion, it's sometimes you miss them.
Can get frustrating.
Gonna throw down the pink ward, clear out a little bit of OU Platinum's vision. Hanging out in the mid lane. That's fine that he's doing it, but by doing that, he's, you know, giving away his position as the jungler, which is a big deal because then the opponent can feel free to set up dives or go for objectives across the map, and happy to know where the enemy or everyone on the enemy team is, and that knowledge can be a big deal. They might be like, no, of course we're not going to go for Dragon. Jarvan could be nearby.
Oh, here comes on Cassiopeia.
The stun gets blocked by the Black Shield, and Legit comes in as well to ult. Down goes Life of Tennis. 2 ultimates used there. That was really nice synergy there between Shafty and Speed Machine. He throws down the Black Shield. The ultimate from Life of Tennis gets negated by it. And while Shafty does get stunned, that's okay because the big brunt of the damage was coming out of Speed Machine. Life of Tennis comes in, or Legit comes in as well with the ultimate just to clean up the kill.
Just KS means kill secured, right?
Kill secured. You know, these competitive games, generally, yeah. The only person you ever really want to give the kill to if you can is the carries. But if it looks even remotely dangerous or like they might get away, just somebody needs to get it.
Kill.
Someone needs to get it. And it might as well be someone rather than no one. Or I always hate it as, ooh, wait, Piplup going on to Showtime here. Showtime backing away. Aetherl jumps into the middle, though, taking a lot of damage, even through the exhaust. Water Bear flashes, not going to get anything. Speed Machine is here. He doesn't have Predator, but he does still have Moby Boots, so a lot of movement speed on this Wukong. They don't have vision of him. They don't know he's here yet. But Jarvan is hanging out as well, although Legit he's here too. It's a 4v3 in favor of Brahms Bodybuilders right now. While Luke Ward shoving in the top lane has generated himself a 20 CS lead. Pretty substantial. Speed Machine has spent too much time out of lane this time around. He needs to get a tower or several kills here to make that time he spent out of lane worth it. Luke Ward might get first tower blood here. Actually, Luke Ward is definitely going to get tower blood here. There is not a teleport available. Shafty's isn't going to be up for quite some time, so that should be first tower any second now. He's a tank.
The Demolish should have come back.
There it is. First tower over to OU Platinum because Speed Machine just won't leave this bush. And he's gotten nothing for it. He's now almost 30 CS
Oh,
behind.
and here he comes.
Here's the dive. Although nice knock up, nice jump. Piplup still not down. Aethro goes down to Water Bear. Here comes the ultimate, but they knock him away, and he goes down to the turret. 2 kills. Water Bear's on the chase. He has a triple kill. Chasing down, and Life of Tennis going to go down to Shafty. Shafty does get the kill.
Completely misses
Luke
that
Ward,
ult.
though. Yeah, Luke Ward wants to get down here, wants to try to chase him. Shafty runs into the river to dodge away from Luke Ward's ult. Showtime gonna have to back away here. Looks like Narcoleptic isn't done. Forces him away. They're going to take down a turret as well as a triple kill for their 80 carry.
Definitely looking good for OU Gold right now with 6 kills onto that Tristana. Gonna be a lot of damage pumping out from that.
OU Platinum.
Sorry, OU Platinum. Sorry, my mistake.
But yeah, no, Tristana 6-0-0. It's going to be a tough fight going forward from here. They do have this Wukong Vi dive combo, so no matter, and there aren't a lot of shields or healing or anything protective like a Tom, so they might be able to get onto this Tristana, and she is holding every single kill for OU Platinum. So
That's true.
if they are able to get onto Tristana, blow her up quickly enough, then they'll be able to have a chance in the remaining team fight. But if they can't blow up Tristana, they are in big trouble. She is going to do a ton of damage. She's very close to having her second item completed and has Berserker Greaves at only 15 minutes. So pretty huge at the moment. And Luke Ward, pretty substantial gold lead after Speed Machines, in my opinion, way too long roam to the bot lane, and that doesn't even end up panning out, and it turns into a triple kill. Their dive is just a little too optimistic, I guess.
A little bit.
Gonna be going on a Narcoleptic here. He's still pretty squishy, takes quite a bit of damage, only has Warrior. Speed Machine comes in, he is gonna pick up the kill. His ultimate doesn't activate. Speed Machine pretty low. Wrong, that's the clone. Healing on the Speed Machine from Janna. Piplup wants to use his Blast Cone to try to get back, but actually no, he decides he wants to fight. The Blast Cone is still not used, and he's still alive! Finally, down goes the raid boss, I guess.
Unbreakable was finally used there at the end.
No, could he not get the Blast Cone, or did he decide not to go for it at first, and
I
then
think
later
he
just
decided
couldn't
not
get
to
to
go
it?
over it first, and then he wanted to try and go the other direction and just didn't quite make it.
Showtime getting some good poke on Life of Tennis, but Life of Tennis putting down some good damage as well. Power's getting ever lower here in the mid lane, but it's not down yet. Narcoleptic going a pretty damage-oriented build. And we've seen legit take out huge chunks of his health, huge chunks of his health with the Vault Breaker into auto, I don't know what
Which the
punch thing.
I do not remember off the top of my head either. I do not play a lot of Vi.
Excessive
There it
force. Excessive force. But yeah, no, the quick Vault Breaker auto excessive force combo has been chunking him to almost half each time, so to be careful in these fights. And Speed Machine, while still kind of behind, is still doing a huge amount of burst. He's got the Duskblade Drakthar, the Predator proc, the Ignite, and I assume he's taking an aggressive rune page that includes sudden impact, so a lot of burst damage coming out of him.
A lot of damage onto Piplup there.
Yeah, a lot of, and it's tough. I mean, Alistar, he does well going into a fight at full health, popping the ult, and then having his effective health be massive for the remainder of the fight. But getting poked down before that's available, never bueno. Like that. He was already too low there. So even though he had popped his health, his ultimate for the damage reduction to increase his effective health, that doesn't help out too much. Our Water Bear has to flash away. Nice knockout from Narcoleptic. He's going to get ulted away by Janna. I don't really know if that was super necessary. Narcoleptic was by himself, but it's okay. The heal is still always handy. Good reset. Basically, redemption, helps at resetting the fight. Gonna start taking away Rift Herald here. Pretty decent pickup. Ends up usually, if you use it right, ends up usually being a turret or more. So
Yeah, it's going on to the Wukong here, looking to be a split pushing course.
it's so easy for him to, even if it's not a split push, to just like roam into a lane where there are other people, quickly try to assassinate them, and then as soon as he assassinates them, bam, drops Rift Herald, turns that kill into a push. Not going to be using it anytime soon.
No, Luke, we're going up to top lane to defend that tower, and Water Bear coming
Wow,
into mid
ton
lane.
of damage! Shafty goes down! There is an assist life of tennis, but that damage was almost entirely Water Bear's. 7-0-1 now. Incredibly fed. Finished 2 items and the Berserker Greaves. That is a really high damage Tristana for this stage of the game. Luke Ward putting down a lot of damage on the Showtime. Drops him just below half health. Speed Machine tries to get into the backline to assassinate. He is going to get onto Life of Tennis because Narcoleptic goes after the wrong one, and he is going to get the kill. Assist over to Jenna thanks to the shield. Narcoleptic Cataclysms, but they both flash out, but Waterbear's not done with the chase. They're going to have to Vault Breaker away. Piplup just tanking up everything from the tower. In the meantime, now they're onto this tower. Here comes the Demolish. They put down the oh wow, Flash on Luke Ward's part. Uses the ult, cancels the Vault Breaker. Aetherial puts down the ult, but it's not enough. And they're going to clean up the kill. 2 more kills for Water Bear. 9-0-1.
Looks like.
And yep, that is going to be the turret. All right, they now have all outer turrets taken down on the side of OU Platinum. And Showtime, nice job, picks up a turret in the top lane. They're only down 1 tower now. Even in kills, down 1 tower, up 2 dragons, down a bit of CS across the map. So they are at a gold disadvantage of a little over 1k. Water Bear's about to kill Showtime. Here comes the hop. Pops the heal as well. In those situations, you want to just kind of restrain yourself and not flash. When Water Bear starts hitting you for that, you just gotta assume that jumps up, and that flashing is just not worth it.
It's definitely hard as an Ezreal just because you have the blink as well. It's extremely
You're just like, I can get away. I'm Ezreal.
Like, I can get away. I can get out of anything. I'm Ezreal. I just have an E. It's reduced cooldown when I hit my Qs. It's nothing. But no, not with this Tristana.
Wow, legit. Like I talked about earlier, oh my goodness, blows up Narcoleptic. His combo, like I mentioned before, takes out half of his health, follows that up with an ultimate into another auto into another E, and 2 cycles of the passive, and that's all it's going to take. The passive is Denting Blows. Nice.
3rd hit.
I actually really like Vi, just in general, as a champion. I think she's got a pretty cool kit. I don't know if it's the healthiest for like gameplay and whatever. Like I'm no game designer, but I do just like her theme and the way she feels when you play her. Cool champion. Gonna clear away some wards here, but he might get himself in trouble. Here are 3 members.
Get caught out.
Gonna start getting attacked by legit. Piplup knocks him back though, and he gives up the fight. Speed Machine pops Rift Herald in the top lane with a pretty large minion wave and immediately starts roaming down. They see that Herald, they have to decide, do they want to go stop it or do they want to stay here and fight? Looks like they want to fight. Narcoleptic goes in, ults onto 2. Jenna ult pushes him back. They start chasing down Shafty along the side. Here comes Speed Machine. Goes for Narcoleptic and is gonna pick up the kill. Although he's going to go down to Water Bear. Looks like legit ults onto Water Bear. Water Bear, or legit gets exhausted. Water Bear starts autoing, free autoing. Legit about to go down to the explosive, don't know what it's called. Wow, big crit onto Ezreal. Finishes him off. Aetherald so low, but it's gonna get away. And they're okay with that. They want to turn their attention to this Infernal Drake. Life of Tennis pretty low here. Never mind, they're not going for the... Oh, wow, Rift Herald does pick up a turret at the top lane, so good on Speed Machine's part. Setting that down on the top lane after pushing out a pretty large wave. Setting it up to take out a turret. It will put a little bit of damage on this next turret, not much. It doesn't have much health remaining. Waterbear's going to pick up that mid lane second tier tower. Pick up a red buff as well. 12-0-2, snowballing out of control. Legit tried to get onto Waterbear there.
Going on to
wow,
Shafty.
Shafty! He doesn't ult before using that. And it looks like he's going to go down. Oh, almost gets assassinated. Water Bear still alive. Uses QSS. QSS cleanses. Oh, is that ult going to hit Water Bear? No, not quite. Just misses. Water Bear somehow gets out. Speed Machine runs back into that fight using Predator. Almost takes him out, but just can't get enough damage. In that team fight earlier, Legit was trying to get onto Water Bear to finish him off during the team fight, but Exhaust comes down. He has to immediately back away. Speed Machine going in on a Narcoleptic. Narcoleptic goes pretty low. Now he's going after Piplup. Showtime's here as well. Cataclysm comes in to clean up Speed Machine. Legit ults onto Life of Tennis, but is going to get taken down. Showtime's the only member remaining. Water Bear is back in the fight, and they're going to start chasing him down. Narcoleptic chasing down BBB Showtime. Right behind him, gets the slow off phase. Arcane Shift is going to be up soon. There it is. He's kiting on Narcoleptic. Narcoleptic goes very low. He's gonna... Oh, Narcoleptic flashes because here comes Shafty and Aethril from the other direction. Has to flash back to try and run away. Luke Ward now in trouble. But here's Water Bear, so who's really chasing who? Because Water Bear is doing a ton of damage. 13-0-3. Jumps and gets pushed back by Aethril. I'm not used to having to cast these team fights. Normally, when I cast, it's with Alex, and he handles the play-by-play, so... Doing my best. Hopefully I'm improving as the game goes on. Whew.
Water Bear picked up the Guardian's Angel. Definitely good option, considering he's been getting dove on a lot, and that Exhaust is not always going to be up to save him.
Yeah, no, I mean, and there is no armor pin, well, unless you count Didn't Take Blows. There is no armor pin on, and actually, you know what, now that I say that, I think Wukong's Q also reduces armor, but okay, so not counting the abilities that they have in their kits to reduce armor.
There are no current items.
Yes, there are no items aimed at it. Yeah, when they're going in here, the Exhausts and now the Guardian Angel are going to make it really hard for them to win a fight. With as fed as he is, Water Bear is going to come out of that GA dealing a ton of damage as well. So just knocking him down isn't enough to consider him dead. You know, sometimes someone has the GA, your teams are even enough that you know that if he pops back up, you'll be able to finish him off. That's not exactly the case here. If Water Bear goes down and gets an assist while he's down, I believe that still resets the cooldown of the... Wow! Legit gets blown up! He tries to get in here. He wants to steal this Baron. There's nobody on his team close enough to help him out, so it's really just a last-ditch effort, like, might as well try. But he goes in a little bit too soon. He overestimates where they are on the Baron, and they're able to clean him up relatively quickly. They're able to clean him up quickly. I say relatively too much now. I gotta get out of that habit. I mean, it's always relative to something. I mean, without context, it's relative to something, but...
Everything is relative.
But using it too much. Showtime gets a tower, that tier 1 tower, and gets that tier 1 tower, and then gets chased away from the tier 2. But they do pick up a tower. Not worth a Baron, though. Baron worth 1,500 gold for your team.
Yeah, no, it definitely... But there wasn't really a whole lot he could do in that situation, though. So tower is just the best thing he could go and pick up.
Yeah, I mean, their team... I feel like their team comp is a little bit in... Like, they want to do two things. Janna and Ezreal and Morgana kind of want to kite. They want to throw down Qs and tornadoes and pools and bindings and deal damage in a sort of chasing/kiting fashion. But Legit and Speed Machine just want to go ham.
Oh, yeah.
They want to go hard as hell. They want to go in, engage, pop ults, kill somebody. And it looks like they might get Life of Tennis here because he goes really low. He does go down, and here comes Shafty. Nice ult Zhonya's, but he's going to go down right out of the Zhonya's. Water Bear gets his jump interrupted by the ultimate from Vi, but he's still going to get Showtime double kill. Jumps after Aethril. Those crits are huge. The knockback doesn't hit Water Bear, so he might be able to get it. He pops seal for the speed boost. Triple kill for the 80 carry from OU Platinum.
The Hurricane just going the wrong way on that.
All right, Legit backs away off the backside of the fight and backs, shows up, but he really can't do much here at all. Water Bear gonna clean him up as well. 18-0-4, snowballing like crazy. Luke Ward puffs that stopwatch that he's been holding on to all game. Hasn't had to use it. 1-0-10, hasn't even been close to death, has been hanging out in side lanes most of the game, occasionally showing up to pop those ults. And with that Baron buff and that last team fight, they're going to close out the game. Nice win for OU Platinum. Unfortunate for Brahms Bodybuilders. It looked like Water Bear just got out of control as that game started going, and they just really were struggling to get the kills on him. Luke Ward, Narcoleptic, and Life of Tennis, and and Piplup were all providing ample distraction and exhaust to try and keep Water Bear alive at all costs. And yeah.
And when your ADC turns out to be 18-0-4, that's what you got to do.
Yep. So it really doesn't even end up being a problem that Life of Tennis goes 8-6-8 and 0-6-and-8 in this game. All he really needed to do is just be a stun bot. Just throw down Miasma to try and prevent some dashes and movement speed, and throw down that ultimate to just try and peel a bit. And it works out. Water Bear cleans up all the kills, but that's okay. That's on the AD carry. But yeah, for anyone who missed it at the beginning, I am Jack. Jack Loves Lamp Counts, and this is Corey Bunger casting with me for this game, and we will be back with you guys soon for Imin, which I believe is Ironman, by the way, versus the old Razzle Dazzle. So see you guys soon.
I was so sure of our love. I never thought of any reason, a doubt about us. And now I'm right back at the start. Halfway through a bottle, baby, and nothing's enough. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before.
Hello and welcome back to OKLCS Spring 2018 Platinum Division. I am Jack Loves Lamp Counts, and this is Corey Hungerbunger Bunger. The game that we have coming up in just a second will be Ironman by the Way versus just spaced out on their team.
The Razzle
name.
Dazzle.
The old Razzle Dazzle. Thank you very much. And really not much to talk about. I guess we'll just get right into it. All right, so for this game, Ironman, by the way, will be on the blue side, the old Razzle Dazzle on the red side. Really quick, before we get much farther into this game, let's go over the bans. So blue side, Ironman, by the way, for their first round, banned Vayne, Tom, and Warwick. All of these seem like target bans. Tom is a little bit general, you know, if you see a support that plays Tom, you're like, no bueno. I mean, Tom mains can be pretty tough. He's a very strong pick. I know Alex enjoys 1v1ing top laners. He talks about it all the time. You just ult up there, and man, that max health damage, once you have some points of W, it'd be pretty nuts. I mean, in their second round of bans, they decided to ban away Kog'Maw and Tristana. So from that, you can assume that they didn't pick, or the old Razzle Dazzle didn't pick an AD carry in the first rounds of picks. Still up, they decided to ban him out during that second round. Ban away Kog'Maw, Tristana, the hyper carries. The most popular hyper carries, I should say. I guess maybe Jinx kind of being that third tier one coming in after those two. Kog'Maw, though, is a little weak right now after some recent nerfs to change that max health damage from 7 to 5. I believe next patch that we're actually going back up to 6 with it. I think it was a little bit more extreme than they meant for it to be. And then red side, first... Wow, some poking onto Demon Print in the mid lane already. Red side, the old Razzle Dazzle, first round, banned away Camille, Evelyn, and Kha'Zix. And in the second round, banned away Malzahar and Fizz. So again, you can assume they saved their mid lane pick towards the end, and during that second stage of bans, decided to try to ban out Demon Print a bit. And he ends up on the Talia, which is a tier 1 mid laner. Well, you know, in terms of what's meta for the pros. Obviously for OKLCS, and just for, you know, League of Legends in general, anything south of High Diamond, you can really play whatever you're most comfortable with, as long as it fits the situation, you know, like what they're playing with on their team, what's on your team. As long as your champion's got good synergies, you're experienced with it and comfortable on it, and it fares well into the enemy team, no reason not to pick it. So don't be afraid to branch out from what's meta, although things that are meta usually tend to be generally stronger.
Just a wee bit.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't champions with really strong niches that work really well. For instance, Poppy. Poppy can do really well in games where there are a lot of dashes. She's seen, not very many, but a game or two in LCS. She's gotten picked, I think in the jungle even. Because the other team would have a Zac or something. And, you know, that's a time where it's like, maybe we pick Poppy here. But just in general, not strong enough. And those meta things are the ones that are always strong in the most situations. Demon Print might go down here. Pops heal. Flashes the wrong direction. Oh, no. Demon Print flashes the wrong direction and dies to Drafius's gank. That's just really unfortunate.
Don't know what happened there. Maybe it's just a misclick?
I guess maybe a misclick. Give me the Tendies on the Riven pick. That's definitely one of those champions where you gotta be comfortable on it to do well on it. But people who put a lot of games in, that experience is huge. Although Drafius looks like, wow, Zorn really bullying this Riven hard.
Zac's waiting for a counter gank, but here comes Xerath as well. Bot lane seeing
Riv's
action
about
too.
to get stunned. He has to flash away because that stun would have led to his death otherwise. He was just one, maybe two autos away going down there. Zac near the top side of the map because he sees Lee Sin hovering around. Adley putting down lots of damage onto Give Me the Tendies. Drafius still hanging around, really wants to kill him. Eventually he's going to give it up. He's just going to back. The golden chroma? I don't think this. It might be. Riven got a new golden chroma during that lunar event. If you completed all the quests, you get 96 tokens, which you can turn into one chroma. I got the Riven one and started playing a couple games of Riven here and there, solely because that was the only decent one for a top laner. The other one was Garen. Nice gank from Drafius onto Demon Print here. He knows the flash is down. They immediately make the gank happen. Saves the Q for that seismic shove. And as soon as he gets shoved away, follows that Q back in. Nice stun from Rev Drifts. Fourth shot, nice. Oh, Gilgalad comes around the side. He gets stunned and exhausted, though. Gilgalad, more than he can handle. He's still running. Fourth shot flashes, autos, picks up the kill. Bubble onto 2. Rev Drift's going to finish off Repit, and here comes Dreyfius chasing on fourth shot. Nice knock up from the King. Gets the stun off and the aftershock damage. Dreyfius goes down to fourth shot and the King. Give me the Tendy starting to maybe look for a kill onto Hadley here. Gets the better side of some trades. Troy here in the bot lane as well. That W of his. So Braum's shield, when it blocks, when it blocks damage, Hadley, that's, yeah, okay, don't do that. He canceled it there. Sorry. Yes, his shield. I think he reduces the damage from abilities that hit it, and the first thing that hits him, not just the shield, during it, he takes no damage from. So he puts up the shield, the damage drops, and he doesn't take any damage. Despite it not being something that you would expect to be blocked. It's not really blocked, it's just, the damage is still just mitigated.
Yeah. I was going to say negated, but mitigated sounds better there.
Actually, no, you're right. Negated is right.
Okay.
Negated is right. So he would mitigate any damage that he takes after the first one, but the first one he negates the damage.
Right.
So you're correct.
All right.
No,
All right.
You're right. Yeah, damage mitigation is a key part of a lot of tanks kits out there. Some boost their own resistances. Some have shields. Some have self heals. You know, for instance. Wow, looks like Give Me the Tendies might be able to get a kill onto Hadley. Riven at level 6 is a deadly thing to reckon with. Troy gonna have to flash here. The King goes in with the flash as well, but the heal comes out. Dreyfius getting low now. Here comes the ult from Troy. Not going to pick anybody up. Nope, not this time.
Nope.
Do you remember old Xerath? Wait, Dreyfius coming back in. Oh, he did the classic smite, tried to Q through a minion. Troy gets dragged through the minefield, taking a lot of damage. It goes down. Give Me the Tendies pops that ultimate and is able to clean up Hadley. Nice kill for Give Me the Tendies after being bullied so much in the early game. Well, now that he's got his abilities, he's starting to get some levels in them, and he gets a back off, comes back, ready to fight.
So this is definitely really good for getting to that kill onto the Xerath and giving it to Demon Print, because that's going to allow him to start roaming using the ult from Talia through the bottom lanes. I was a little worried there for a bit. Getting so far behind the Xerath, you wouldn't be able to roam at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a great thing when your roamers start to get ahead because, you know, it's great when any champion starts to get ahead, but when you're, you know, relatively immobile, nope, I said relatively, when you're, when you're rather immobile top laner starts getting fed, that's great and all, but they might not be able to carry that. Dreyfius coming down, he's trying to get slowed up by 4-shot, but he lands the Q under Repit. He thinks about waiting for that arcane shift, but decides to go straight at Dreyfius. Comes behind 4-shot, kicks him towards his bot lane. They didn't see him in the bush, and they thought he was doubling back or something. And Dreyfius is gonna die. 4-shot doesn't even go down. 4-shot levels up as well, giving a bit of health. Demon Print gets some damage on the boy Troy here. Knocks him into just a couple mines. So in the bot lane there, it looked like they lost sight of him in the bush, and then they started not walking ahead of him anymore. They kind of hung around like they thought he was trying to double back, and he didn't double back, so they lost a lot of the positioning they had over him. He makes it back onto the tower, slows Dreyfius, pops that Zanya's, and then Dreyfius goes down to the turret. Nice knock up on the King. He's level 6, but he's not going to even need to use the ultimate, although he does anyway. He did use the ultimate. He didn't need it. That knock up in the Q was all he needed. Troy had no flash, and the seismic shove was enough. He's able to land it thanks to the knock up from Zach. So pretty clean gank and nice clean kill. Hadley's going to be in trouble here. Give Me the Tendies is dealing a lot of damage. He only has the Ninja Tabi. He's going to need more armor than that. And here comes... Oh, she forgot to follow the wall. Demon Print has had...
Ultimate is up. There it is.
Wait, Hadley, why did you do that? Oh, it's because Dreyfius was around, but that's not enough. Dreyfius might go down to Demon Print here. Hadley not respecting the Riven pick enough. He needs to wait for that wave to be a little bit closer to his side of the turret and aim to try and take elongated trades with the Riven. She's really great at the short trades. Grayfius might choose to go on to Demon Print here. I don't know if that was a smart decision, though. Kicks her right into Boy Toy Troy. Ends up being a good decision. Nice kick. Nice bubble onto Repit. Oh, the Nami ult doesn't get blocked because fourth shot isn't close enough. Stun onto Gilgalad, though. Takes a lot of damage. Pops heal. Revriv's going to get stunned now. Gilgalad trying to put down some damage, but it's not enough. Revriv gets exhausted and goes down. Repit might kill Gilgalad here as well. Gilgalad arcane shifts. Wow, flash fourth shot. Flash from fourth shot into the Braum Q. Picks up a kill. Dreyfius is now here in the bot lane. He doesn't have his ultimate. Here comes Boy Toy Troy. The king is in the bush as well. He jumps forward. He doesn't land onto anybody. He's chasing down Dreyfius. Dreyfius one auto from getting stunned. Trying to jump to the dragon. He misses it with the Q though. Can he make it to the blast cone? No. Four shots. Q gonna clean him up. Here comes the ult from Boy Toy Troy. He picks up the kill and he cancels it early to start backing away. Four shots Q has killed so many people. Oh my god, four shot is 5-0-1.
He has 5 kills from flash Qs or flash autos.
My god. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Give me the tendies. 2 levels up on Hadley. Starting to snowball. Some poor decisions on Hadley's part, I think. Wow, nice seismic shove. Able to get a decent chunk of Boy Toy Troy. Even sidesteps to stun as well. Hadley's going to need to be really smart with his trades. Looks like he's building a, forget what it's called. Used to be called Catalyst. It might still be called Catalyst.
It's the Catalyst.
It is still called
Yeah.
Catalyst? Oh, okay. Anyway, looks like he's building a Catalyst, though. If I were him, I would be building Sunfire. Jump behind Boy Toy Troy. Lands the Q. Misses the seismic shove. It doesn't matter. The ult is up. Boy Toy Troy barely doesn't have his flash up. He's getting camped by this Zac, the king on Zac here. And without flash, they're making it look really easy. Q barely misses. Here comes the ult from Hadley. Is the chicken titties almost gets Dreyfius, but he barely lives. Kicks him into tower range. He takes a bit of tower damage, and Hadley finishes him off. Really close. Nicely played on the part of Give Me the Tendies. Lee Sin hasn't built any HP yet. He goes in. He's not even full health when he goes in, and he stands there, and he's able to take quite a bit of Riven's combo. But nice kick. They're able to pick up the kill. Hadley a little bit less setback.
That stun was so close. If that stun would have lasted just a little bit longer, the Ornn wouldn't have been able to knock the Ram back into Gimme the Tendies for that kill.
Ooh, Demon Print diving in on Gilgalad. Gilgalad goes down. Seismic shove onto Revrifs at the same time as he takes out. Wait, that kill goes over to fourth shot as well. Here comes the Q. Oh my goodness. If he...
No, he's gonna try and give it over to Demon Print, and he does.
Fourth shot looks like he's about to take the kill, but he ends up not doing it. Oh, Demon Print is in trouble here. He's very low. Boy Toy Troy backing up. Boy Toy Troy has ultimate. He's throwing them out. He's not landing them on Demon Print, though. Demon Print keeps juking. He misses all of them. But Dreyfius is here to help clean up Revit. Fourth shot can't stop him. Seismic Chef comes out to zone away the Lee Sin. Boy Toy Troy flash queued? Oh, he was aiming for Demon Print.
He was trying to get that long range.
First Tower Blood goes over to Give Me the Tendies. Now he's chasing down Hadley. Hadley flashes away. Hadley does have the he stopped. He heard me. He stopped building Catalyst. He decided to build towards Thornmail instead. I mean, I really think his best bet here would be Sunfire. With some recent changes, they kind of reverted. They because a long time ago, start of Season 7, they nerfed Sunfire quite a bit because everyone was taking Sunfire and Iceborne. Do you remember that?
Yes,
high damage
was so
tanks.
Upset.
And so everyone was taking those items. They nerfed Sunfire quite a bit and released, oh wait, the king going in onto Rev Rifts. Here he is. The bot lane is here. He's ulting. He's going to try to bring him over the wall. Doesn't have the range. Doesn't matter. He holds him up long enough for Rev Rifts, or Repit to catch up, and they take down Rev Rifts. Exhaust onto Gilgalad. Ultimate for Varus comes out and misses. Give Me the Tendies teleports down. Running in. Stun comes out. The king picks him up with the E. Like I was saying, so they nerfed Sunfire a long time ago. They made Thornmail, which was just like also a little bit oppressive and OP. Ooh, flash from Give Me the Tendies blows up Boy Toy Troy. That's what's gonna happen. We have that level 11 Ribbon. That ultimate is huge at that level. Dreyfius gonna go down here as well. Double kill goes over to Give Me the Tendies, and they're gonna pick up a tower of their own. Right. So anyway, Thornmail gets oppressive. And eventually Riot at the end of Season 7 says, you know what? We tried Thornmail this season. We thought that it was like similarly oppressive to Sunfire, but it was even worse.
Oh,
So
it's horrible.
they decided to nerf Bramble Vest a bit. Wow,
Oh,
Rev
the
Rips goes down.
damage.
Ton of damage. Braum Q, Seismic Shove, a little bit of damage there from Repit as well. And Repit pretty much just picked up the kill. Most of that damage came from Demon Print and fourth shot. Fourth shot, by the way, 606 on this Braum. Absolutely killing it, literally. An ult comes out from Boy Toy Troy. Demon Print, though, near the wall. A lot of movement speed. Nice kick from Dreyfius, followed up by Boy Toy Troy's ult. Gilgalad
No.
comes back up, doesn't see Repit, and ends up going down. Boy Toy Troy trying to pursue Repit now. Misses the stun. Dreyfius can't get away from the King. Can Dreyfius get away? Flash from the King, but he doesn't have any abilities up, so it ends up kind of being wasted. Give me the Tendies coming around. He pops the ultimate. He's trying to get on. Nice juke. Here goes the King jumping in. He doesn't get anything, though. He's going to pop his passive here. The Give me the Tendies is exhausted. He's waiting for it to end. He wants to kill everyone with it. Bam! Lands the knockup, follows that up with an enhanced auto. Ends up being a triple. Here comes Repit, pops the ult. He might die to tower here. Zanya saves him, and the kill goes over to Repit as well. The bot lane and the top lane are all just playing out of their minds this game. Demon Print doing well as well. The King doing well, very well. But fourth shot and Give Me the Tendies in particular doing great. Anyway, they just keep fighting. They just
He
won't
just wants
stop.
more.
But like I was saying, so Sunfire got buffed back up. It is now a pretty solid tank item again. Great at wave clear, like it used to be. Great at damaging enemy champions, like it used to be. Riot basically said, you know what, you can have back old Sunfire because we like even though we don't really like Sunfire, we like Thornmail even less. So they decided to nerf it, buff Sunfire. I think that would have been his best bet in this lane. Would have helped give him some trading power, and if he could have held on to Give Me the Tendies in a fight for an extended period of time, really, that damage really, really adds up. So, anyway, I think he should have gone that way. That's okay that he didn't. Alright, so...
Earlier, sorry to interrupt. I just
No, you're not
earlier you mentioned about the old Xerath before we got into something, and yes, I do remember that, how he was stationary while he charged.
It was so funny. He was almost faster, because when he came out of the kind of artillery mode that he had, he would have increased movement speed. So oh wow, Demon Print really ballsy, and here comes the King. Nice wombo. Hadley does what he can, but it's not enough. Double kill for Demon Print. Hadley gonna get stunned up and finished off as well by Demon Print. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Give Me the Tendies trying to take out, is taking out King Gilgalad. Despite a bubble from Rev Rifts, he does so much damage. Level 12, 8, 1, and 2. He has 2 finished lethality items. He only has regular boots because at this point, why does he need anything else? He's Riven, he's mobile, he's got the CDR, he's got the damage. Just keep snowballing.
I'll say, what was that damage onto Ezreal? It looked like it was over 500 on that.
On the ultimate?
When he launched the ult, that looked like over 500 damage.
It was a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. What is Ezreal's health bar at? Can we even see? Doesn't look like it. I think each of those ticks are 100, but I don't feel like counting them.
Yeah, he has about just over 1,000 HP.
Yeah, so 500 damage, quite a bit. Obviously, Riven's ult damage always seems like overkill because it does more the lower they are, but it does quite a bit of damage. Pokes for a shot just to stop the back. Give Me the Tendies did very well on some Riven last week. I know week 3 stats being updated got held up by a certain unnamed team not filling out the forum soon enough. But had they seen that, or maybe tried to look into the team a little bit harder, they would have seen that Give Me the Tendies was doing very well on the Riven pick in those matches.
Oh,
boom!
Repit getting caught out there. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, nice pickup. Boy Toy Troy, their King Gilgalad is very behind, which is really rough for Ezreal. He's mainly a mid-game AD carry. He struggles compared to other AD carries in the league. Give Me the Tendies speeding in here. Gilgalad has to Arcane Shift away. I always forget the name of that ability. Has to Arcane Shift away. Gonna get away scot-free this time. Ulting on to the Herald. They want to see if the enemy team's on it, and they are. He goes down. Bam! Flash comes out from Give Me the Tendies. Double kill. He isn't going to go down here.
Stopwatch keeps him alive. And look at those shields.
Alright, I just had something like weird happen with my throat. I was like, ugh. Oh, that was weird. It's like a hiccup, swallow. I don't know. My bad. Sorry, everybody. I just kind of. Poof. Thank you, though. Thank you, Corey. But yeah, really nice out of Give Me the Tendies there. Picks up multiple, pops the stopwatch, gets, even though he's very low, pops the stopwatch, and his team's able to clean up the rest of the kills. Hadley doesn't have enough damage to pick up Give Me the Tendies when he comes out of that stopwatch, instantly jumping into that AD scaling shield we all know and love. Wall comes out from Demon Print to help them secure these towers without any contention. Troy still going to do all the poking that he can. And they are going to chase them away from the inhibitor for now.
That was a good zoning wall there just to secure that tower.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good use from Demon Prince ult. It's pretty good for roaming, you know, in the early game. But towards the late game, it starts to lose a lot of its value. You can't really use it in team fights as well, because if you use it straight up the middle of a team fight, you might be hurting your own team as much as you are hurting the other team. So a really good use for it is trying to use it to zone people away from towers, zone people away from objectives, because while they may be able to jump over it to get to the objective, to the tower, if the fight starts not to go their way, they can't use that same jump back unless it's very low cooldown, unless they burn a flash.
Oh,
so
Riven engaging onto
wow!
Sin.
Drapius getting exploded. Give Me the Tendies comes over the wall. Repit chasing down King Gilgalad. Who's going to win, though? Repit loses... Oh, wow. Gilgalad loses sight of Repit there, and he's able to get to the side, flashes over, and is able to pick up the kill on Gilgalad with the help of a teammate. Give Me the Tendies has to run and dodge away from BoyToyTroy's ultimate. Ooh, BoyToyTroy snipes Repit, who was backing in a not very safe place. He was on top of a ward. His team pings him MIA after he dies. It's pretty funny. Demon Prince shoving, though, in the mid lane with these super minions. Giant wave of minions coming into the top lane. It's going to hold up Hadley. So Ironman, by the way, starts moving in the mid lane. Hadley stuck in the top lane dealing with that minion wave. 4 members of the old Razzle Dazzle up, though. They're going in on Force Shot here. He's going to jump away to the King. They throw down that knockup. Force Shot's going to block it, but he's going to get stunned up by the bubble. Stunned up by BoyToyTroy. Finished off by BoyToyTroy. Riven, meanwhile, soloing the dragon. Because no one else is really paying attention to it right now, so might as well send someone to take it.
And it is an Infernal, so...
Yeah, it's important. Oh, wait, it ended up...
Oh, no, it just looked like it was an Infernal from the side.
Yeah, but, like, it's important, you know? I mean, you might as well pick up the dragons while you're ahead. Those clouds are going to be huge as Talia, Zac, and Riven are just, like, constantly looking for flanks wherever they can. All right, Baron is up. Between Talia, Zac's actually a jungler who's surprisingly awesome at taking Baron, because by picking up the blobs and spamming his W, he gets off quite a bit of max health damage during the course of the fight and sustains himself up a decent bit as well. King Gilgalad kiting this super minion into the tower, but now it's hitting his tower! Oh wow, it did like no damage to it. It's surprising. Give Me the Tendies blows up BoyToyTroy while we watch King Gilgalad chase minions? Are we on directed? Oh. Did we somehow get on Israel instead of directed camera? That was weird.
That was weird.
We never clicked on him.
Oh yeah, you did, because whenever we tried to figure out his HP, we clicked on him.
Oh my goodness. Well, he's been in most of the action, so that's good. But when I saw that kill go down, I was like, wait a minute, what is directed camera doing? Anyway. Give Me the Tendies, chasing down Hadley. Does not really have any concern for his health bar, just keeps spamming that shield, keeping him healthy. In comes the King, doesn't land, but that's okay. The Hadley, actually going to dash away, but here comes the Var Assault. He pops that ult, it's not going to matter. He goes down to Demon Print. Pokes onto Give Me the Tendies from BoyToyTroy. He's going to force him away, but they have 4 members here. Repit takes I forget what Ezreal's ult's called, but he takes one to the face. Drapius trying to sneak up behind here, trying to assassinate Repit. Meanwhile, Force Shot and Demon Print hold the rest of the team at bay. They get onto BoyToyTroy, they miss the seismic shove. A minion has destroyed a red inhibitor. They lose an inhib. Drapius getting kited out by the King and Repit. He's gonna go down here. Meanwhile, BoyToyTroy back in the mid lane gets finished off by Fourth Shot. 7-1 and 14. Braum. Pretty crazy. Here comes the teleport from Give Me the Tendies coming back into the fray. They have a ton of minions here hitting these towers. They've got 5 members up. The old Razzle Dazzle is missing 2 people, and the Nexus is going to go down. Nice victory for Ironman, by the way.
Yes, it was. Very good use of that Riven, using it to full potential in those team fights, jumping in on that squishy Ezreal and Nami.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and snowballing so well. I think there was some. I don't. A lot of people haven't been playing Riven and solo queue lately. Just in my experience, anyway, I haven't been seeing as many. So maybe people are just losing familiarity with their matchup. I remember a day and age where Riven was the matchup in like every third game.
Oh,
Um, so
there was barely a game when you didn't see Riven.
yeah, and so you get pretty used to the matchup, but not seeing her as much lately honestly starts giving her that element of surprise that you have with some of those niche picks, and you're like not used to how much damage they can do or how certain interactions work. But anyway, really good showing from Ironman, by the way. Like I said at the beginning, I am Jack. Jack loves lamp counts, and this is Corey Bunger, and we'll be back with you guys for the last game of the night here in just a moment. That last game of the night is going to be Reign of Kings Platinum versus Deathcap for Cutie. So we'll be back with you guys in just a little bit. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.
Internet, hello and welcome to OKLCS Spring 20. Welcome back to OKLCS Spring 2018 Platinum Capped Week 4. I'm Jack Loves Lamp Counts. Oh wait, that's not what the script said. I'm Alex Agent A22, joined by Corey Hunger Bunger Bunger. We're here to cast for you the final game of Platinum Capped and overall the final game of Week 4 of the OKLCS Spring 2018 split, and it is between Reign of Kings Platinum and Deathcap for Cutie. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the game. Reign of Kings Platinum coming into this game 2-1, same record as Deathcap for Cutie, also at 2-1. So we'll see which of them can take their lead over the other one. It is, of course, Reign of Kings Platinum on the blue side, Deathcap for Cutie on the red side. We'll go ahead and go over the match, or the champion select. On the blue side, Reign of Kings Platinum banned away Camille, Sion, and Zoe in their first rotation. In response, Deathcap for Cutie took away Maokai, Tristana, and Tom Kench. And then once we got around to the second rotation of bans, it was Azir and Jace taken away, Belkaz and Jax taken away on the other side. Now, Reign of Kings Platinum looking for a 5-man invade into the top side, but they cancel, go back into their own side of the jungle, and we'll just see how it goes from here. As far as these team comps go, anything of note? What do you think?
I'm interested to see this Braum. There's been a couple Braums in the games before. I'm really excited to see how that pans out. This time on the opposite side of the Varus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. What is noteworthy is the amount of siege power that Reign of Kings Platinum has. Caitlyn, one of the very long-range ADCs, can zone very well with the traps. Does give you a lot of pressure on the tower. And, of course, Ziggs is the mid laner to take when you want to push down towers really fast. Actually, with the Ivern on the other side, Soapy on Ivern, with one of the more underrated junglers right now, in my opinion. You know, there was a period of time when people were like, oh, Ivern's garbage now because he got nerfed so many times. To be fair, he did get nerfed a lot. But there's been some players on high elo solo queue taking Glacial Augment on Ivern. Soapy has not opted to do that, but has brought Ivern into a little bit more of the limelight. Seeing a little bit more play. In any case, we'll see how Soapy decides to build his Ivern. Does not appear to be the same as the type that I'm talking about.
Looks to be similar to the old Ivern, considering he took some in Airy.
Yeah, like old Windspeaker's Blessing with the amplifying the shields and heals and
Ardent
everything.
Sensor. And
Oh, what a great time it was in League of Legends when you had Windspeaker's Blessing giving gigantic amounts of resistances on already unkillable targets.
then just
Boy, oh boy, I loved League of Legends during that time.
Lulu was the best during that time. I did nothing but play Lulu and Karma in that era. It was so much fun.
Oh, Jordan V69 on the Caitlyn with Leave It to Wally's Braum up against Pro Shiznitz and Shirani on Varus Thresh. Shirani historically has played a lot of this Thresh in OKLCS, done pretty well on it in past showings. And unfortunately, his first death sentence is a minion, so as I say it, it's the Caster Curse.
Caster Curse.
Parallelogram pulling out the Alawi up against Ryox's Shen. Ryox has really liked this Shen pickup, this split on Reign of Kings Platinum. Defaulted to it a lot, trying to be the big tank, possibly the big split pusher, just offering a lot of protection to his team with the Stand United.
I definitely think Shen is sort of a sleeper pick. You don't see him a whole lot, but if you definitely show a lot of comfort on the champion, you can do a whole lot, especially with the ultimate. During ult TP, you can ult to bot lane, go TP directly back up to top. You're not going to lose any pressure or anything whatsoever.
Definitely can turn those fights when the enemy team is not really prepared for it. Obviously, you know, Stand United a little bit better than TP. You get a big shield on somebody. And then, of course, you can pop it very late into the fight and just and they're like, oh, crap, it's Shen TPing in. And by that point, your ADC's like, all right, I'm going in. I'm going to deliver the Shen to the enemy. Soapy gonna face check into lefty here. Lag and Drag comes in. Soapy gonna shield up himself. Here comes Leave It to Wally. Looking for the winner's bite. Jumps towards him. He flashes over the wall. Shirani actually flashed and missed the death sentence on Jordan B69. Jordan B69, it looks like he also flashed away from that death sentence, so ultimately a trade on summoners there. Ryax goes in for the taunt onto Parallelogram, but you don't want to stand next to your ghost up against the Alawi. Now Shirani looking for the death sentence. Nice sidestep on the winner's bite. You never want to stand next to your ghost because the ghost echoes a percentage of the damage that it takes. So by standing next to it, it means that he could potentially hit you and the ghost with the tentacle lash.
Okay, like just free damage.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
death
there's
sentence is
a
gonna
death
land, and
sentence
here
that
comes
lands.
Soapy. They're gonna flay him back forward. The flay coming out, but here's Lefty. The counter gank comes in. Black and drag in. They stun up. Try running with the concussive blows, and he has no flash. If you remember, Lefty picks up first blood for Reign of Kings Platinum.
Oh, the exhaust was used in there, but it just wasn't enough. Actually, exhaust used on both sides there.
Yeah, I think just because the counter gank was good by Lefty, and it would have been a successful gank for Deathcap or Cutie otherwise, but they are playing Ivern, one of the lower damage junglers, if that's anything to go by, so it takes them a long time to try and kill someone, even when they hook, let alone a Braum who throws up the Unbreakable and negates a lot of Pro Shiznitz's damage. And therefore, when Lefty comes in, they just blow through Shirani, and he has no flash, got stunned up by the concussive blows, and just goes down.
That's not gonna help. Proschnitz at all. Just considering Jordan already has a significant farm lead in the bot lane.
It's already, what is that? It's going to be about 6 or 7 once Proshizniz, well, Proshizniz actually missed a number of minions to the tower, so it's actually culminating in about 9 CS in favor of Jordan B69. BF sword on his first recall. Gonna head back into lane, ready to dominate in this matchup. Parallelogram is starting to pull a CS lead for himself. You see that he's got a lead already, and as well as a wave pushing in towards him. Waishi coming forward just to pop Wymo with the silence will refresh the Malefic Visions.
Just a little bit of harass. Just playing tag.
Just
They're
a
saying hi.
love tap.
Yeah. They're talking about.
Oh wait, no,
where they're
love tap is Misfortune's passive.
They're just talking about where they're gonna get dinner later.
Oh, Soapy is gonna take the satchel charge, flash flag and drag from Lefty, and Soapy is caught. Mega Inferno Bomb comes through, and Wymo picks up a kill. Nicely done by Reign of Kings. Lefty is exactly where he needs to be, following Soapy around the map, and then Wymo comes through, just keeps him in place with the satchel charge. Lefty flash flag and drags in, and they have the damage to kill him. As of yet, Soapy's Ivern pick has yet to pan out effectively for Deathcap or Cutie. Death Sentence going to land onto Leave It to Wally, but that's not the target they want.
No, it is not.
If they hard commit onto that, then that sort of leaves Jordan B69 to free auto with the
3 coming
autos,
top.
and there's the BF sword, and Parallelogram gonna pop the ultimate. He's got so much damage. Lefty gonna go down to the tentacle lash, if not for the Stand United. He's just gonna jump onto the ghost to get some distance, and a beautiful play by the top laner Deathcap for Cutie. Actually forcing Lefty back. Death Sentence gonna land onto Leave It to Wally. They actually follow that one through. Double flay comes through, but the concussive blows coming out. Shirani shields himself with the Dark Passage. Here comes Kawaii. Sheep has the Nether Grasp available. Summoner here comes up for Jordan B69 to get away. There's no flashes. Soapy on the other side. They silence up both, and they're gonna Nether Grasp down the 80 carry. Jordan B69 is gonna go down. Leave It to Wally says, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. Flash taunt onto Parallelogram. He's got no ult this time. It's the 3v1 in the top lane. Parallelogram finally falls. They say you sent 4 bot, we'll send 3 top. Reign of Kings, they trade 1 for 1 in the course of that fight. Deathcap for Cutie looking for the Mountain Dragon as Reign of Kings Platinum try to push onto that top lane tower, but they don't have the wave quite there yet.
I was kind of hoping they were going to get that top turret and trade, but it just didn't work out. They
are still pushing for it, but
they're
Parallelogram
backing
teleporting up there. Wymo will have the satchel charge, but he uses it to harass Parallelogram, so they cannot execute that tower. And there you go. The Mountain Drake slowly but surely falls in favor of Deathcap for Cutie.
Then good TP from Parallelogram to ensure the safety of that top turret.
He will stall it out for a little bit more. Now Pro Shiznitzz did pick up a kill during that whole scuffle. Possibly be able to build up some of the parts, at least, of that Guinsoo's Rage Blade.
There, Ivern being level 6, he does get that extra blue buff sitting behind, so there is going to be a blue buff for Kawaii Sheep
Oh
sitting
yeah,
there.
that's really nice. Always really nice when you can duplicate the buffs. The one champion that can do so.
That's definitely something that I really like about him, just his ability to be more he's definitely not a playmate in a sense, Ivern. He's not going to be the flashy damage person. He's more of a definitely a team player.
Yeah, Ivern, when you see Ivern, it's like, oh, I have a second support that gets jungle farm, you know? That's basically what he is. He's got a lot of shields, he's got a lot of utility with the root, and of course Daisy popping out, just throwing out the knockups. Death Sentence gonna go wide onto Jordan B69. We'll see if Ryax misses the Shadow Dash. We'll see if Deathcap or Cutie can leverage towards Tower First Blood in one of the other 2 lanes. Will require Soapy to have a good gank where it's not countered by Lefty. Parallelogram going aggressive onto Ryox. Does get the Ghost out, and it's just going to pummel it.
He's been doing a pretty good job of whittling those ghosts down. Oh, I think that was the first one that I've actually seen him pull not actually finish off.
Yeah, but even though that is the case, Ryox, didn't break it by doing damage. Shirani gonna land the Death Sentence onto a minion, but he gets trapped, and that means Lefty's playing so patient right now. The Shadow Dash in from Ryox, but Parallelogram does have his ultimate if he wants to go for it. Lefty comes out of the brush, Black and Drag misses, he flays him back with a Cataclysm and the Chain of Corruption used. Death Sentence goes out, but Kawaii Sheep going for the Nether Grasp, but Wymol does so much damage with the Mega Inferno Bomb. He's gonna use the stopwatch, will it be enough? Soapy comes in with the shield just to ensure his safety. Reign of Kings now pressuring onto that top, or that bot lane tower. Death Sentence not gonna land on Jordan B69. Nobody dies during all of those events.
That was a little bit exciting.
Kawaii Sheep, I think he got caught by one of Wymol's combos once again, so Nether Grasp to try and keep himself alive, gives him some extra time to think about what to do. I'm gonna ghost Ryox yet again. Ryox has not been using the Spirit's Refuge to great effect, and this is kind of the criticism we've had of Ryox's Shen play all season, really. He's been, like we said, he's been playing it quite a bit, but doesn't seem to feel as comfortable on the champ as some of his more traditional picks. More of a pick for the team type thing.
Yeah, Shin is definitely, I find, to be one of the pick for the team. There's not a whole lot of solo Q Shins out there. And those who
Shirani, he's gonna get the flay on the Jordan B69. Death Sentence lands afterwards. The exhaust comes out, but leave it to while he throws up the Glacial Fissure. Shirani gonna have to stopwatch. Persistence still does not have the Chain of Corruption available. There's the Unbreakable. Gonna block up a lot of Persistence damage, and Jordan B69 is able to make it out. Kawaii Sheep on the roam down, but spotted out by a ward. And that will be Reign of Kings backing away. There's the ace in the hole eaten by Pro Shiznits as they try to push out the lane. After all of this, 600 gold is the lead for Reign of Kings Platinum over Deathcap for Cutie. Kawaii Sheep zoned away from his own lane by the Hexplosive Minefield.
Hey, here comes Alawi to pick up that free red buff. Let's see how she uses that against the Shen.
Oh yeah. Not only are you going to be able to go for more aggressive trades, but you're also getting that extra health regen from the red buff. And Parallelogram is going to pummel onto Ryox. He doesn't even care about that gigantic minion wave. Shadow dashes away. He's also got the Black Cleaver finished as a result of that 40 CS lead he has over Ryox. Oh, Flash Black and Drag onto Kawaii Sheep. Satchel Charge breaks the Nether Grasp, and Kawaii Sheep gonna go down. A beautiful gank from Lefty and nicely done by Wymol. Now, he's gonna charge up his passive. They're trying to secure Tower First Blood. Soapy gonna come
Ivern's there on the side. I don't know.
But it's already very low. He's going to get the root off, but he doesn't have the damage, and he doesn't have the wave clear. The Satchel Charge going to come through, and it's going to execute the tower for first. Actually, they lost it bot first. Soapy going very low. Cataclysm coming out. Flash forward for the bouncing bomb. The Hexplosive Minefield not going to reach. And Tower First Blood actually went down bot. The Reign of Kings Platinum on their way up top. They're going to stop Parallelogram from just quite finishing that one off. One more auto will give you the concussive blows. And there it is. The stun comes out. And Jordan B69, he flashes forward, gets in with the ultimate. Is going to pummel on to leave it to Wally's Ghost. And Jordan B69 doesn't quite have the damage to take him out.
Well, it looks like he wanted something there, but then just decided it would be better to back off considering Braum was so low.
Alright, so Reign of Kings Platinum now 2 towers to 0 after executing the one in the mid lane. Gonna ghost, hits the minion. Oh, flash in, corruption misses from Proshis. This means Jordan B69 able to flash away. Leave it to Wally, throws out the winner's bite. Proshis is actually gonna get stunned up by that one. Ice in the hole coming out. He's gonna stopwatch it. Glacial Fissure goes wide. Redemption comes out too late or early for Proshis needs to get the heal. But he will get the shield and it will force away the bot lane of Reign of Kings Platinum. This tower will shortly be going down in favor of Deathcap for QD in the top lane. Mercury's tries for parallelogram, doesn't want to be caught by the CC from Leave It to Wally, and the tower does finally go down.
Now, no, those tentacles, if you land that ghost on there, you either have to wait for it to just wear out, or you have to walk out of the zone. Either way, for the with Parallelogram's ability to just completely nullify the HP, you're going to be dealing with those tentacles when it comes back to hit you.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
the
very
other
frustrating.
thing, the only way you can actually, hold on a second, Ryax is going to get rooted up by the root color, Parallelogram going to ghost him, Shadow dashes out onto the blast cone, gets him to safety.
I'll say the only way you can't have the ghost on you is if you just have to sit there and wait and hope they don't destroy it.
Yeah, or, well, you can actually reduce the duration of the ghost, but hold on a second, Flag and Drag comes in, Shirani gets knocked up, Mega Inferno Bomb, and a couple more auto attacks, Lefty's on a killing spree. You can actually break the spirit by hitting Alawi herself after she's ghosted you. And it's instances of damage, which means that Singed and that type of champion are actually very good at countering when you get hit by Test of Spirit.
Okay.
But Reign of Kings Platinum going for the Infernal Dragon. It is going to go down in their favor. Parallelogram now going to get Flag and Dragged on. Slash Shadow Dash from Ryax, and that's a good play. Parallelogram going to be going down. Jordan B69 picks up the kill. Now Ryax leading the chase in. There's a Cataclysm onto 2. There's a flash away from Kawaii Sheep, and Soapy's going to go down.
Why are you getting, I think, getting a little greedy there. Yeah, he had that free blue buff there, but I think if he would have not stayed to pick that up, he might not have had to waste his flash there.
Well, the more interesting question is, why were they standing in that corridor next to the dragon anyway? If they weren't willing to go in deep to contest the dragon itself, why stand there or give yourself the chance to get picked off? And yeah, that's going to cost Deathcap for Cutie quite a bit, because with 5 members stacked, Weimel going to satchel charge onto the tower, leave it to Wally. Oh, stand behind me, dodges from the chain of corruption from Pro Shiznit. Now 3 towers to 0 in favor of Reign of Kings. Yeah, it's like a test of spirit. It's a very apt name. It's like Alawi's like testing you. If you can fight me, then you won't get ghosted and the tentacles won't kill you. Test your resolve, yeah. But obviously when you're doing so, you really have to be careful not to stand on your spirit, because that's just giving Alawi more damage on you. Shirani looking to make a play, slowed up by the winner's bite, and he has to back away. Rift Herald is on the table, and that's what Deathcap for Cutie will be going for, but Lefty is on his way in.
Looks like they're going to contest this.
Yep,
in.
They've got everything for Leave It to Wally and Jordan V69. That sentence used onto the Rift Herald, which means that's not a cooldown. They have Shadow Dash in after the Blast Cone, and Soapy goes down immediately. Parallelogram pops the ult, but he's exhausted. He's stunned. The Flay comes out. He's getting a lot of health back, but it's not enough to take out anyone on Reign of Kings. Now, so Shirani is in trouble. Satchel Charge knocks him up against the wall, and he's just going to be zoned away by Weimel as Reign of Kings take the Rift Herald for themselves. That send's going to get him out onto the Krugs.
Barely made it out of there.
Kawaii Sheep not even in the fight. He was down bot, so Deathcap for Cutie, they have to respect the increased pressure from the numbers advantage Reign of Kings has on the top side of the map. They go for the Rift Herald, and it definitely does not pan out well for them. Another tower falls in favor of Reign of Kings Platinum, 4-2 now, thanks to Kawaii Sheep picking up the second one for Deathcap for Cutie bot. Now Soapy is just going to watch as his jungle is taken away in front of him by Lefty.
And there's another red buff for, well, I guess either Alawi or Bars, depending who just wants to pick it up.
It looks like Pro Shiznit is on his way to pick up the secondary. 5k gold is the lead for Reign of Kings Platinum over Deathcap for Cutie. Before 20 minutes is a pretty sizable gold lead at this point in the game. 9 kills to 1, 4 towers to 2, plus the Infernal Dragon amplifying their scaling ability. But it's a hard call as to who scales better in this game in terms of just by virtue of champion. Varus scales very well. Maybe not quite as good as Caitlyn just because of that tiny bit of extra range, as well as the fact that Caitlyn does in fact build crit as opposed to the on-hit build that Proshizhnitz is opting for with the Varus. I think that Death Sentence almost hit Wymol, but not quite. And then of course Malzahar has incredibly good scaling into the late game, just gonna chip away very quickly at the tanks on the side of Reign of Kings, but of course, if Wymol can land a good Mega Inferno Bomb, Proshizhnitz might not even be a part of the fight. They're going to drop the Rift Herald for Reign of Kings on the bottom side as they all 5 are down there looking at the last remaining, or not the last, but a tower outside of the base. They're teleporting in Parallelogram as the Rift Herald lands. They're going to full in Ryox, and the Nethergrass goes onto him. Parallelogram picks up the kill, and that's a big Tentacles coming out to swing down onto Reign of Kings. They've already lost their Ninja tank top laner. They're gonna ghost onto Lefty. Chirani missing the death sentence again, but Lefty is gonna get ghosted here. Slowed up. The tentacles are gonna be whipping down. Reign of Kings had to get on the run. The Flash Chain of Corruption does land after the 90 caliber net. There goes Kawaii. She gets onto Jordan B69 and takes him out. They death sentence. They kill off Lefty. That's a shutdown going over to Deathcap for Cutie, and they picked up 3 kills for 0. Parallelogram needs to be careful though. The Wymol is gonna throw a lot of bombs out, like we were saying. The caster curse comes through, and Wymol takes out Parallelogram.
There's even more damage onto Kawaii Shi.
Yeah, oh, stand united as he satchel charges forward. Death Sentence gonna land onto the Ziggs. They're gonna have to run away, and Shirani might have sealed his own Death Sentence there. The bomb is gonna land. It's gonna be one more Dark Passage. It's not gonna matter. The Shadow Dash comes through, and Wymol is on a rampage. Wowzers.
That was a lot happening there. And just
Deathcap for Cutie, they get a really good fight. It was a beautiful engage by Shirani and Parallelogram to catch out Ryox as soon as he picked up Tower Aggro with the Sunfire Cape. But unfortunately, after getting 3 kills, they weren't happy. They went for more, and instead they end up losing more people for it and the tower as well.
Just got a little too greedy on it.
Lefty gonna jump onto the Baron as Sophie tries to aggro it, make it a little bit harder for Lefty to get out of there unscathed. For Cutie, they're still hanging around. Good news for them is that the gold lead has only gotten smaller, not bigger. But it's still near a 5k gold deficit for Deathcap for Cutie.
Looks like they're just contesting over vision right now, but Parallelogram's caught up.
Taking some damage, and Lefty... Oh, early smite, but it doesn't matter. He's able to auto it down anyway. Trying to be cheeky, wasn't cheeky enough, so he just cheeks it out with the last auto attack. Oh, man. Okay, good news for Deathcap for Cutie. They do have 2 completed items on Parallelogram. He's got a huge CS lead over Ryox, and Black Cleaver Sterak's Gauge, that is a very large large team fight power in terms of those 2 items for Alawi. Additionally, you've got the full Redemption and Ardent Sensor combo for Soapy. He's going to be amplifying a lot of attack speed, but Lefty is going to go in 1v2 because here comes the remainder members of Reign of Kings Platinum. Parallelogram gets the Sterak's Gauge, the Redemption coming out. Kawaii Shi going for the Nethergrasp onto 1. Wymol stopwatches, and Lefty's actually already gone down. Wymol gets jumped on by Parallelogram. He goes down as well. Shutdown goes over. Parallelogram will finally fall to Jordan B69's damage, but he's about to get knocked up by Daisy. One more auto from Daisy would kill him. A 2 for 2. Oh, the piercing arrow snipes him down from Proshizhnitz. It's a 2 for 3 in favor of Deathcap for Cutie.
It still doesn't look like there's not a whole lot they can do off of that though. Top lane looks to be pushing in, mid and bot as well.
Yeah, no waves prep for Deathcap for Cutie means that even with those team fight wins, they're not able to close out any objectives, which means that it's that much slower for them to close this gold lead. But it is slowly closing if they can continue those fights. Parallelogram continuing to attract so much attention, put down so much damage before he goes down. The Caulfield's Wormhammer makes me think that Parallelogram is going for a 3rd item, Death Stance. More damage as well as more ability to stall his own death out and sustain through the fights. If Reign of Kings Platinum does not appropriately burst him down and focus him once he gets into the middle of the fight.
Say Shy Ronnie trying to get some vision in there, but it's just being completely shut down by Wally.
Yeah. Reign of Kings, just because of their lead, they do have the freedom to walk through and clear out a lot of the vision being placed down by Deathcap or Cutie. Deathcap or Cutie, they're not really grouping to contest that vision really either. Reign of Platinum looking for a Death Brush.
That cheeky Fnatic Death Brush.
That might be dangerous because Kawaii Sheep's on
Oh.
top of Ward. He's gonna walk in towards
No,
it. The
they got
Flag
it.
and Drag comes through. Concussive Blow stuns him up, and the headshot from Jordan B69 will secure the kill. Oh man, you see it happening, and you just want to say, no, don't do it. Don't walk that way.
But you can't because the game's already been played.
Yeah. Not only that, but so the parallelogram looking for leave it to Wally. There's 4 members of Reign of Kings Platinum. He's gonna ghost up one. Black and Drag comes through. He gets knocked up. Parallelogram gonna ult. He's gonna take the Dark Passage out as the tentacles start to whip down. Weimel's ghost very low. Satchel Charge gonna execute the tower. The Death Sentence gonna land onto leave it to Wally. Chain of Corruption spreading through the team. Parallelogram goes back in. Stand United onto Weimel. Parallelogram now on the run. He goes down to the Cataclysm. Glacial Fissure knocks up Pro Shiznitz. Ace in the hole comes through. Double kill for Lefty. Now the shield comes in, but the taunt comes down, and Shy Ronnie next to Ball. Reign of Kings Platinum pick up 3.
At this point, they don't even need the Baron. They can just run right into the base and
Yeah,
take
Caitlyn and Ziggs will destroy those towers so quickly. The inhibitor next to follow. And nothing that Soapy and Kawaii Sheep can do, just the 2 of them, up against 5 members of Reign of Kings.
it. There's still 13 on Ronnie's death timer. Let's see if they're going to try and they might try and rush this Baron down.
Yeah, Soapy coming around. He is still the same level as Lefty, thankfully enough. So obviously the chance of the Miracle Steal is available.
There is
Lefty
no
gonna come
blast
through,
cone, though.
and they're teleporting in parallelogram. As Soapy does drop a control ward into the pit. He's gonna have the Q in. Parallelogram goes in. Mega Inferno Bomb comes through. It's secured by Jordan B69. Parallelogram about to get stunned by the concussive blows. And Kawaii Sheep comes into the backline looking for Jordan B69, but he's gonna get stunned by the concussive blows. And there he goes. He doesn't get it off. Flag and Drag comes in. Soapy's now the focus. He's gonna get flayed back by Shy Ronnie, and he'll flash out. Gets the shield in. Parallelogram is now getting focused in the back of the pit. Double kill over to Jordan B69. Shadow Dash doesn't quite find Shy Ronnie, but they will get him out of there. Death Sense pulls him in. Procious is coming in. Weimel flashes for the satchel charge, and Shy Ronnie will die to the Hexplosive Minefield. Tentacles now whipping away. Weimel almost gets down by it. Baron Empowered recalls will ensure that Weimel makes it out. Oh, close! He almost got slapped by that last tentacle.
So close. No fear. No fear.
Oh, man. So the inhibitor down in the top lane. Reign of Kings with the Baron on all 5, is it?
I don't believe anyone died in that.
Looks like all 5 members with the Baron buff. Jordan B69 gonna take his recall, has his 3rd item with the crit, Infinity Edge, Static Shift, Rapid Fire, and now a Vamp Scepter building towards what is likely to be the Bloodthirster, seeing as there's very little actually no armor, on the side of Deathcap Rakiti. Doesn't need to go for that last Whisper just yet.
I'm honestly surprised that, I mean, yes, Merc Treads is definitely good for Alawi with the CC, but I'm a little surprised that no one at least picked up a Ninja Tabby just with how strong it is right now.
Yeah, definitely something to consider when you're looking back at this game. Shy Ronnie gonna flay onto the minions, but he take a Mega Inferno Bomb, and the Flag Drag comes through. Lefty's on a killing spree. The Nether Grasp down the tank. Here's the big Parallelogram ultimate. He's gonna take out Lefty. Now he's rampaging through Reign of Kings. Ryax flashes out to safety. Jordan B69 on the run, slowed up by the tentacles. Parallelogram is still super low, though can't afford to go too deep there. He gets his Sterex gauge popped by the explosive minefield. Pro Shiznitz takes some damage. Ace in the hole! Jordan B69's on a rampage now. Leave it to Wally. Coming forward, Soapy doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Parallelogram gonna take some damage from the explosive minefield. Weimel walking forward aggressively. Misses the tentacle lash. Weimel looking for one more. Yes, he finds it. Soapy coming forward. Doesn't get the slow. Satchel Charge will knock them away from one another. A headshot will take out Kawaii Sheep. He flashes forward. The go! And it's the Piltover Peacemaker to pick up Kawaii Sheep. Soapy and Shy Ronnie pushed into their base as Reign of Kings look to end the game. That tower is going very low. Ace, the Piltover Peacemaker comes across. The first Nexus tower falls down. Gonna look for the Death Sentence, not gonna land it. Reign of Kings looking for the end. Satchel Charge is primed and ready. Weimel goes very low, but it's not gonna matter. The tower goes to, oh! He does get executed just before, but it will not matter. It is gonna be the Nexus going down, and Reign of Kings taking the victory over Deathcap for Cutie.
Oh, that was a really good play by the Caitlyn and the Ziggs, just making sure to constantly pressure those turrets. There was the satchel charge there was always being used to destroy the turrets. I feel like it was very well done by Weimel,
Yeah,
just to put
definitely.
all that pressure there.
Yeah, so Reign of Kings will take the victory over Deathcap for Cutie here in the last game of Platinum Capped, which means that they move up to that respectable 3-1 position, tied up with Oklahoma Platinum Rush. I'm not sure if they've played yet. I don't know if those two teams have played yet, so I don't know if there's a tiebreaker involved. Maybe they still have yet to play. In any case, that is going to be it for us tonight and for the remainder of Week 4. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Alex, Agent A22, joined by Corey Bunger for the last 3 casts of the day. And we've been trying out multiple people from the Esports Association, and I mean, you and Riley did an awesome job these last 2 days. We look forward to having you come out some more in future weeks,
I definitely love to be here. I had a lot of fun. It's definitely interesting sitting on this side of the screen.
Oh, as opposed to being the player.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It is a very different. It is very different. It's not anything you can really visualize or imagine until you've actually done it. And it is a lot of fun. In any case, that is it for us here at the OKLCS. Hope to see you next weekend, Sunday at 1 p.m. for Gold Capped and at 6 p.m. for Diamond Capped. Same as always, unless, you get a notification on Facebook that says, oh, we're doing it differently for whatever reason. But plan on that. Thank you all for watching and hope to see you next weekend and have a good night.